Yo. Woo. All right.
3 stars? Okay. Guessing you've just been nuked by Nightbot? No, like, joking apart, I don't have it. Like, I must have it. In fact, no, I do have it set so links don't get posted.
Yo.
Send it me on. Oh, hey man, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Good,
How's
good.
it
Well,
going
I'm
for
going
you?
now. You have a good night, yeah?
Hey, this is pretty nice, you know. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna give it a few minutes, let people, start getting in here, and we're gonna
Yeah, of
get
course, of course.
to
My
the.
room is so warm, dude.
That's that PC, bro. That's what happens.
I know, I'm gonna turn it off. You should be grateful, you know. I've installed Gears 5 just for you.
Oh, you got on Gears just for me, bro?
Just for you.
I appreciate that, man. You love that, right?
Yeah, and you know what? When I first got on it, I was playing so bad. Like, I couldn't move. But it's slowly coming back. It's coming back. I'll just give you a join. Oh, never mind. Am I joining on you for the quicker matchmaking?
It's sure, yeah, you can. Actually, I'll invite you.
Yeah, sure.
Gamer tag. I think I just saw the stream, but I forgot.
That's all good, man. It's fine.
You
My
really,
bad is going
you got the
23
OG
5.
level. I respect it.
Yeah, I got it. Like, I remember, you know when they did the full gamer tag reset?
Yeah,
Where, like, they took out...
yeah, absolutely.
Can I accept that without breaking? I can. Yeah, like, when they reset all the gamer tags that weren't in use, I was like, I'm nabbing that.
Yeah, my gamer tag was saying, and I was selling a lot of gamer tags back then. I sold all the gamer tags I had. Was making money off of that.
Literally, the same day I left Essence, someone took my SLivo account. What is that?
Bro, somebody took my Vexy's account. I was sick, bro.
It's one of the reasons why I've kept my Twitch as it is now.
Respect it. You gotta do, bro. I'll never change nothing ever again. Maybe my Xbox gamer tag at some point.
Oh, that's a hint. There's a new team coming.
One second. You peeped the Discord. Oh, my bad. Who's a Discord general? No. Let me go look. What you throw in there, fam?
No, like, my bad isn't going 23 and 5. My bad was going, like, what was it? 2 and 7?
Nah.
Something like that. That was bad.
Is that a Goliath? Is that what that is? How do you catch something like that, though, bro?
No, I know it sounds silly because it's only a name, but it feels so strange when you change your name. But in a good way, when you change your name and you start seeing your name in the kill feed, like on the MVP screen, when it first changes, it's so like cool to see it change. I don't know if that's just me being weird.
What is it? This montage?
Chicken bites. These are basically a tender, which is just.
When Avexis was talking, could you guys hear him okay? Do I need to turn him up, or is it fine?
Yo.
Hello.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, like, if they can hear me, let me know. I'll keep talking so, you can make sure.
Like, to me, you sound good. I just want to make sure everyone else can hear you fine.
For sure,
I think it'll be good.
Let me know.
Volume's fine. That's good. He's quite clear. Good to know. Well, we seem like we're all good.
Nice. All right.
So you just let me know when you're ready, dude.
I got you. I'm gonna start the game.
Cool.
We can get it started. Who's in the call? I got Livo, man. I needed somebody that had a casual perspective of the game, but understood what they're talking about when it came to mechanics. And that's a very rare thing. I don't want to talk to somebody who's gonna be like, game feels clunky, slow movement. I can't do that. I can't do nothing with that, I can't do nothing with that, bro. Even a lot of professionals, they don't know how to talk and mecha.
Really, that actually surprises me.
It's terrible, bro. It's so bad.
Oh.
And that's why you see a lot of these like a lot of these bad updates that happen. A lot of them are because of the pros. I'm being so serious. I'm not gonna lie about it. Yeah, yes, you know,
I've seen that myself. Yeah.
Yeah, it does make their mistakes, but it's because some of them, like I've witnessed it firsthand. Some of these dudes literally do not know how to get what they want. They don't know how to really specify what they want fixed. You know.
Like they know what they want it to feel like, but they don't know how to put it into words.
Exactly.
Kind of like back, not that I'm jumping into any of the talking points straight away, but it's kind of like when aim assist was bad at first. It's like, oh, aim assist bad, get changed. It's like, okay, but which part of it?
Which part of the aim assist? It's literally right. It's like 3-4 parts of it, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Also, guys, I know you're like chatting to me. Not being rude, not ignoring you guys, but I'm going to be focusing on the conversation soon. So if I don't reply to you, please understand I'm not just deliberately ignoring you guys. But to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know. I tend to stream when I'm just in the mood, or if I'm doing something like this. Obviously, it's a good occasion to stream. But for me, like when I get on games, I'm just kind of either tired after work or I'm in just a group of people messing around. So it kind of depends what's going on. Wait, what's that? You might want to turn a Vexy down a tad. He sounds a little loud compared to you. It might just be me. Okay. Thank you for information. I shall do that right now.
Yo.
Nice talking, dude.
Yo. How sound? Your stream is he loud or what? Let me know. If I'll turn down a little bit.
Shouts. Hey, is he loud?
Alright, I'm gonna start this up. What you wanna play? What game mode? You wanna play something chill, you know, some TDM, or you wanna hop some control and get fucking obliterated?
Do I have to answer that? Yeah, I'll play TD, dude.
Alright, bet.
I'm intrigued as to what it is you want to talk about, though, because like I watched your interview with Jim Bob, and like before that point, as I say, I don't install Gears. I'm not playing for 6 months. I was kind of not gonna say not interested in Gears, because I think it's impossible for all of us at this point to never be interested in Gears again. But I'd kind of reached a point where I wasn't gonna be like doing content on it anymore, like talking about it in depth anymore. But when I seen you and Jim Bob having that chat, like I like Jim Bob. But there's some things I was listening to, I was like, oh, I don't like this.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, bro, it's impossible to agree with everyone, man. Like,
yeah, of course.
His stream is S Livo, ESS Livo. Okay, so you can start off, bro. You know what I mean? You got the notes going. My man is thorough with it. I like it. Let me know.
We start, like, obviously, like, it just being quite straight to the point. Obviously, like, everyone knows you're a pro. Like, literally, you're a pro. And I don't think I was bad at the game, like, when I was in my prime, but I've never reached your level. And I'm not just saying that to, like, big you up. I'm just being realistic.
No, I get it.
Obviously, when I'm, like, giving opinions, I know already that we agree on a few things, we disagree on a few things. So, like, when I'm explaining the things I disagree with, I understand that I'm going to possibly look completely stupid saying I disagree with a professional player and the developer of the game. But I think that the way I've come about the opinions I've got, I do kind of think they make sense in certain situations. So hopefully, even if at the end of this we come away from this still disagreeing with each other, hopefully, like, we can have a discussion. So
yeah, the explanation is out. Because I'm not gonna lie, like that is also the problem with me giving my take on tunings. Because I see the game to an extreme, intricate level, like, you know, do the timing, spacing, positioning, anything from a team aspect, from an individual aspect, and that automatically, a game that's too competitive is like a Gears of War, like a console title, it's not gonna be good. I'm be real. There's no way in hell, bro, that if you let purely competitive players do it, it's not gonna be enjoyable for the casual community. It's not. We've seen multiple different things come in place, and that's just how it turns out. So that's why I have you here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I already know for a fact there's gonna be, you know, situations that is gonna be different to you because of your skill level. You know, no offense, stuff like that.
No,
but
you're right.
But that's what's needed, you know, because the truth is, me being a competitive player, I know that the #1 goal for me is not for it to be as competitive as possible. It's for the game to survive. You know what I mean? It's for the longevity.
No, that's what I've been aiming for. So, like, I'm assuming you haven't, which is pretty fine. But I don't know if you've ever watched any of the videos of like ideas I've put forward. But anything I've ever been putting forward, it's kind of been hoping that the longevity of the game would be there.
Yeah, for sure.
And my ability to talk and play kind of reduces, but I don't know my best. But yeah, I just think that conversation is a good thing. I was kind of disappointed when the forums got closed down. Because like, despite, I'm not going to go into all that, but despite like my lack of activity on there anymore, I think that if people were there talking and giving ideas, it can only be a good thing. But now, the only real place that you really see ideas being given is Twitter now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, as much as like I do my fair share of like giving opinions on there, you can't have a proper conversation on Twitter. Like you've got, unless you pay for Twitter, you've got your limited characters, and even if you have paid for it, no one really sits there and reads like the full tweet because they just want to reply back with a quick argument.
Yeah, and it's just basically headlines. They see the first thing, they reply that. They don't look at the comments or other replies. Actually, you know what I mean?
I'm going to that.
For sure.
So yeah, I just think like chats like this, it's great, and the fact that you want to talk to me from being a different sub community, would you call it? I just think that's kind of helpful, like for putting forward the feedback, because yeah, I've got a bit of reach, but it's nowhere near what you can do. And I think if people can hear what I'm saying, given the fact that a lot of my feedback is on behalf, shall we say, of other people as well, it's kind of helpful for like the general community. Sort of have their opinions heard when normally they wouldn't.
And yeah, just letting you guys know too, like, bro, a lot of pros know this too. When we were talking about the most recent gear tuning, this one we're playing on now, I was the main one speaking for the cash community, and I can I don't want to out names because we had discussions with the devs and stuff like that, but the pros do not like when I do that shit. They actually hate it. But even then, you know, it's just the goal wasn't the same. They were seeing it as like, you know, fuck the player base because we just want to finish out our last, you know, year or whatever of competitive and make it as competitive as possible. Which I'm like, I understand that to a degree, but then the game is just not going to be fun for anybody else. And if nobody else is enjoying it, nobody's going to watch this shit regardless.
Yeah, I agree, and like I'd expand on that as well, and I'd say, you know what? It's a strange one to try and discuss because I've got mixed opinions on it. Like, I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you right now. This is my genuine opinion on it. I do really like competitive play, and the idea of esports in the game isn't a bad thing. Like, by the way, guys, I understand my gameplay's gone to shit. I'm just focusing on talking now. But I do think that having that sort of thing in the game is good. But I think that the game has to be a solid game
first.
Throughout it. Yeah. Because if the game's sort of like an irrelevant game, like not being thick, but if it's an irrelevant game, then cool, you guys can have your little private matches on the side, which is essentially what it is. But if no one else is interested in the game, it's just you guys.
Yeah.
If we get a solid game, then you guys can see, right, here's the game. We are way better than everyone else at this game. We're going to have our matches, and if you want to come and see how this game can be played at a higher level, come watch. But if the core game's not fun, then no one's really going to be
interested to watch it either. Exactly. Yeah. This game is always happens to mainly watched for its campaign, and it's going to stay like that, to be honest. But we got to do what we can to make it a way better multiplayer experience, bro, and we need that. All right, so
yeah, like
with that being said, what is to you is probably like the biggest game changer when you play the game? Like what's the #1 tuning balance that needs to be in place? Is it based on movement? Is it based on the strength of guns? What is it? Or would you like start from?
I think a tuning can't just be looked at in saying, oh, we need to look at one thing. I think it has to all work together as a whole.
For sure.
And granted, it's a few talking points into one, so I will just like mention all of my main focuses. And it is not so much rifle damage, because I understand it's been nerfed. I understand it's not even that powerful now, but
like
more
Lancer
sense of like rifle dominance, like how used it gets. I feel like it's used way more than it used to be used, and and in situations where in the past people would play more for fun than wanting to just win. So I think we'd have to have a look at the effectiveness and dominance of rifles. The slide cancel shot delay is a must go. Like that was just that just annoys me.
Yeah, hey Dalton, thank you so much for the prime, fam. Appreciate it.
And what was I gonna say?
Yeah, no, yeah. For example, yeah, like maybe the Archive just said in the chat, bro. Fucking the Gears 4 Core Lancer, that shit was insane.
It was, but what people don't understand is that was the Gears 3 Lancer, and I get a lot of people saying you've got rose-tinted glasses on because you like Gears 3. I did, and I understand that the Gears 4 Core Lancer was the Gears 3 Lancer. I do understand that, but what changed between Gears 3 and Gears 4 was the mindset of the community. And I know we've talked about it a little bit before stream, not much, but the way people play now compared to then is so different. Back then, the Lancer, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say literally no one because that's a silly thing to say, but the vast majority of people either forgot they had a Lancer or they just have it there to swap out to pick up a power weapon and fall on the floor. Pretty much no one used it. If people wanted a rifle back in the day, it'd be the Hammer Burst or the Retro, which was annoying, but...
No, you're actually right. You're right. Those are definitely the better they were the better options, but the only really time that you see people choosing to use the Lancer was in like GB because it was the rule. It was actually it was the actual rule to use it. But yeah, the Retro and Hand-Me were definitely better back then.
The thing is, as well, like I understand I am a casual player, but I have also dabbled in a bit of scrims, bit of GB back in the day on Gears 3. Like I understand how it all goes, and something not many people talk about in terms of the competitive scene for back then is, yeah, the Lancer was used, but so was the snub.
Yeah, the snub was OP back then.
Yeah.
And stuff kind of lost a lot of its ground in this game. Even in 4, it was pretty good. This game definitely not.
No, it feels very different in this. But I just feel like what I was saying there, though, it's like, yeah, you got the weapon, and I think right now the Lancer's tuned, like damage-wise and output-wise, in a good place. But the way it gets used is not in a good place. And granted, it seems to have died down now to the point it's not as problematic as it once was. But I know I explained to you what might sound like an exaggeration, but I promise you it's not an exaggeration. In a respawn mode like this, people would happily win the first round of spawns to put people on respawn, grab all the power weapons and trap people in spawn, and they'd be there for 5 to 10 minutes, can't do anything. That's not fun at all. And I just think that that is far too influential to the match, shall we say, for a weapon you can spawn with.
I feel that. I mean, yeah, to see, but that's, the competitive side of me. It hurts because like
you don't want to hear that. I understand that.
I really want to respond by like position yourself fucking better, bro. You know what I mean?
No, I get it, but the thing is, out of spawn, like how do you do that? Like that's a legitimate question. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because also I don't play TDM, bro. I'm not even kidding. I don't play TDM. I don't play like Guardian. I don't play Capture the Flag. I don't play any of those game modes. I play Control. I play Control. I play Escalation, and I'll play Execution. When I have to. That's it. Yeah. That's really it. And to be honest, those opportunities don't happen because Control, there's multiple different spawn points,
different places,
right? Execution, round by round basis, so you get a reset every single round.
Yeah.
Escalation, same thing.
Yeah.
So you don't get spawn trap at Escalation. You got spawn protection. Usually, if they're all in your home hill, that's the entire focus. You know where they all are. Like you're not, and the round's gonna end at that point. If you're just, you get a reset. TDM, just 2 huge rounds. So I definitely do get it. If the game was balanced more so like 4 game modes like TDM, definitely the Lancer would be too oppressive for sure. I would agree with that. So then we go about how will we, how will we balance it? Would it be a damage nerf? Would it be a mag size nerf? Like recoil? What would it be? There's many different ways to do it. Damage drop off at range.
I remember, like, when this game first came out, as I say, it had the same value. Well, no, I didn't say. So, Gears 3 was 55 damage per shot, not including all the headshot modifiers and the active modifiers, just base body damage. It was 55 damage, and for those you don't know, players in Gears have 600 health. Yep. So, you were going down in like 11 shots.
Yep, 11, yes, sir.
That was the same for Gears 4 Core. I'm not sure about the competitive, so I don't really want to talk to that. But then in Gears 5, it launched 55 damage again. So
I think the rate of fire also changed as well.
Yeah, I thought so. Back in the day, when I was first talking about Gears 5, I was talking about the rate of fire, and admittedly, this was completely on me. I didn't know that it got reduced, and I'm glad it did.
Mm-hmm.
But just do the math like before you even start this. I know I've like gone through it with you, but where are we? Because I've now written it down. So where are we now? It's 50 damage per body shot bullet, the Lancer. So if you've got 600 health, that means 12 shot down. I've done the timing on that, and it takes 1.435 seconds to fire that many bullets. So that means out of a clip of 40 shots, you can miss 28 of those shots, meaning you can miss 70% of your mag and be rewarded with a down. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should be rewarded if you hit your shots.
You know what's funny? The funny part about this level is that the Lancer used to have 50 bullets.
No, I know. Like that's exactly what I was getting. Because like when we were on the last map, I was like in the middle of saying it. I forgot where I was going. But back then, it was powerful and it had potential to be a massive problem. Yeah. But it wasn't a problem because the mindset of the players wasn't the same as what it is now. But I think that now the mindset of players was
different, and we didn't have TDM and stuff back then. That's what I'm saying. Which goes back to like in a single life game mode, the opportunity to really showcase how strong that is in one mag would never present itself.
I don't know, bro.
Like situationally,
Gears 3, it had TDM. It did have TDM.
But Gears 3 had the fucking retro though, bro. That shit was just, you know.
Oh yeah, like don't get me wrong. Like Gears 3 had problematic guns. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it was amazing, it was perfect. Oh shit, sorry.
I don't care about stealing kills, bro. Trust. Please.
Yeah, fair it is. Usually I get moaned at if I do that. Oh, did we come out? Oh. I'm missing everything. But yeah, like Gears 3 did have problematic weapons, but it felt like back then, this is going to sound like such a silly thing to say over a video game, but it felt like people played with a bit of respect. It's like they wouldn't just sit there and like rifle you down unless they wanted to use a weapon like that. But generally, those people, quite frankly, if we're being honest, they'd get bagged even if it was by their own teammates till they left. Like, people just wanted to have a full match.
I agree with that,
remember back in the days, like if someone was using a retro sword off, their own team would trap them in a corner so they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it was definitely frowned upon.
Yeah, but now people would join in. Like it's just such a different mentality. So yeah, the weapons had potential to be so powerful and dominant back then, but they weren't because people chose not to do it.
Yep, and to make it, you know, another reason on top of that is because of how smoke grenades used to work. Because of flash grenades, we no longer often see, you know, visual clutter. But when you had smoke grenades back then, they did both things at once. You know, they would stun you and they provide that, you know, exactly that visual clutter is, you know, so you could block off a whole line of sight. But now,
Gears 3 knocked on your back as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, I've just been corrected, by the way. So Gears, oh, you're right, Hindi. Thank you. Gears 3's lance was even worse than what we were saying. It's actually 60 in the mag. You're right.
Yeah, 60 in the mags. You got stopping power. The Gears 3 just had everything was strong in that game.
It was extremely powerful.
Yeah.
But even despite that, it wasn't a problem. It just wasn't. Like, no one looked back at Gears 3 and thinks, oh, it was constant Lancer and like you couldn't move. People remember Gears 3 and literally complain about Gears 3 because, oh, I don't want Nashers of War. People remember it for Nasher play. So yeah, it had a strong Lancer, but it was not the issue that people try and make out it was.
No, you're right. You're right. Because the shotgun back then was definitely way stronger. You would get 2-shot down with ease. Or you'll get retro down. Or you'll get hammer bursted down. Or you know what I mean? Like, mid-range was not as effective as it is in this game, which is huge.
No, it wasn't.
And on top of that, I feel like the bloom was larger. Like you couldn't use the Gears 3 Lancer at range as easy as you can the Gears 5 Lancer in this game.
Do you think, it's interesting you say that because I wasn't even thinking about talking about that, but do you think that's got anything to do with the reticle style? Because that's different to Gears 3. Like, if you look at this, if I stop getting shot at, if you look at this one, it's sort of very tight, but as you shoot, it expands. Whereas the other one, yeah, it would expand, but it was never that tight.
To start off with?
It was quite a yeah, to start off with, it was never very tight. Do you think it's got anything to do with that, maybe?
I really do think it's more so a bloom thing because in this game, this is the game that they introduced recoil. They introduced like recoil, like, you know, they wanted to, like, you remember the beginning of Gears 5. The Lancer used to be very strong, but you used to be able to like burst it and get easy downs. That was never a thing. Oh my god. No way I just missed that. All right, we good. We good.
No,
We
I
good.
understand. Just answering chat like now. Like I understand completely that in the competitive scene, Lancer is. You can never take that away or make it useless because competitive without a Lancer would be completely pointless.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the thing is like what we were saying a minute ago is that you've got to think about the main game, like the entire globe of people playing it, before you think about the competitive scene. And the competitive scene, in my opinion, this could be a controversial thing to say, is these people are the best players of the game. That's why they're in that position
Absolutely.
of playing in that tournament. Now, they should be saying, right, okay, this is the game, this is what I've been given. Look how good we are at it. This is the peak of what's possible on the game. But by no means am I saying, like, no, I've never once said that I want the Lancer to be removed or be completely useless. I don't want that. I just want it to be put back to the point where it's an actual support weapon, which is what it's supposed to be, not being something that's so dominant as a team. As a team, you can't leave spawn if you get trapped. I don't like that.
So, with that being said, what changes would you make?
It would definitely be something to increase the skill of the weapon.
So maybe like a recoil change?
No, I would keep all of the damage values as they are now because I think it's in a good place.
It is.
What I would change how influential it is on the match. Now, by that, I'd want to increase the skill of it. By, as I say there, you can, like, this isn't me just talking nonsense or making up numbers. You can literally miss 70% of your Lancer mag and be rewarded with a down. That is silly, in my opinion.
And I'm not gonna lie,
so
after playing Apex, bro, that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
like you play any game,
it's crazy.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be a thing. I definitely do think that, I've been saying this for a minute though. I think that either, if they're gonna keep this type of mag size, the Lancer either needs a lot of recoil, or it needs some type of rate of fire nerf at that point. But I do think I like how fast you can down somebody though at the same time. Like I think to me, honestly, just because I'm competing and everything, I honestly think this is the most balanced Lancer we've had.
In this state, I agree. Like I think the damage of it now, honestly, is fine. I like to say, like I used to have the rate of fire.
So it's more so mag size.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So it's the mag sizes and just the ammo in general. So as I say, right now, you can mathematically, so no one can agree with this, mathematically, you can miss 70% of your mag and still get it down. That's ridiculous. So I'd say to halve the clip size, so you have 20 in your mag, so you have to land the 12 body shots and you can have the freedom to miss 8 of those. And if you miss more than that, tough, you don't get the down. But what I'd also do, I'd look at the effectiveness of team camping. So I would then decrease the reserve ammo from 240 to 120. So if a team is just set up in one spot with Lancers, they are going to have to go out and find something else because they run out of ammo at some point. It's going to run out much sooner than what it would on the current setting. I just think that would really help the whole camping and people refusing to move. I think that would be a really good change, because that then isn't doing anything to decrease the effectiveness of the weapon. It's making it more skillful to be effective with a weapon.
I mean, that would be the way to do it. If there's a way to do it, I actually agree with that. But I would say 20 is a little too low. I would say maybe like 24 is a sweet spot. I don't think,
so like half the mag you got hit,
because I feel like that just makes it to the other point where for like a newer player it's gonna be harder for them to get it down, bro.
That's fair. Like you're right. Like so where you're looking at this is like
that just makes it
get the hang of casual.
Right.
I've got to also consider that. So yeah, you are right. So if you were to reduce it from what it is now 40 down to 24, that'd mean you can miss half your mag. And you've got to land half to get the. That's fair. I feel like
that's probably the perfect balance, to be real.
Yeah, that would definitely be something to test. I think that'd be good.
So I'm be honest, if you guys ever watch me play ranked or anything, you guys know that I honestly purposely just pre-fire angles. I don't care. Like, I never have to think about when I need to start shooting. If I know somebody's there, I will purposely just shoot at their cover just to keep them in the cover, and that would change how you have to cross people, which I think would be a good thing. And team fire would not be as OP as it is. at all. So I definitely do think that should be something you look into.
That's sweet, because like that's one of my biggest issues, and like obviously as a competitive player, I doubt you've ever even seen the issue from within your community. I don't know, I'm guessing, but like from the casual community, like all the complaint was just Lancer, and it's such a prominent issue, or not so much now, but it was like back when, quite frankly, if I'm just being honest, the community was bigger. Back when people were just going for ranks, like they would just Lancer. And I remember, like, I'm not gonna like name people, but there was a group I used to be involved in, and it was quite a big group, and you'd see people wanting to, like, not so much boost, but work together to achieve Diamond or Masters, whichever game it was on. And you'd see must Lancer. It's like, why? If you're good enough, why don't you just play like properly and use whatever you've got to achieve the win properly? But that's going to go down a rabbit hole. But I just think that when you know you've got people saying we're going to use a Lancer because essentially it's the most effective, it's the easiest, in my opinion, that's where you know there's a bit of an issue to look at.
I agree with that. I'm not saying, like, I agree with that. I definitely, that is one change off rip that I can support. I definitely think that the Lancer could use a mag nerf. I don't want to see a damage, a rate of fire. The only other one that I would possibly accept, because I do like to keep things competitive, is a recoil nerf as well. I think the point and shoot Lancer is kind of annoying. I don't like how easy it is to use the weapon in the first place. I don't think you should be able to like accurately be able to beam people across the map. So either that or a bloom increase.
I'm sure obviously you know about this, but the Lancer was changed in terms of bloom quite some time ago. And they made it so if you're full auto, you're going to be at full bloom the whole time. It's going to get crazy. But if you like feather it, you're going to keep your reticle really small.
Yep.
Is that something that you still want changed despite that?
Not necessarily. I do like the bursting it, but I just think the base full auto should have more recoil on top of it. I don't think I would rather touch the full, like, the recoil before I touch the bloom, to be honest. But if I had to, I wouldn't mind a bloom increase. Just at certain ranges. Like, you could feel the difference in certain ranges.
Would you feel like if they increase the recoil too much, it'd feel a little bit like the retro?
Say that again?
Sorry, I'm getting killed so much. I'm not paying any attention.
No, you're good. You're good.
If they increase the recoil too much, do you not feel it's a bit like the retro?
Not retro style though, but enough to the point where it's just not like point and shoot. This game has like less recoil than honestly anything I've ever played. I know this game's not like known for it to have recoil or something like that, but if we're not gonna touch recoil, we have to touch the bloom, which is why I say, like, if I have to do bloom instead, then maybe a small bloom increase would be good.
I'm just testing it now because I'm just curious, and like it's going up.
Because even then, I'm gonna be honest.
Yes.
Even if then, like, let's say you do the mag nerf, right? And I'm not gonna feel a difference. You know, I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna miss your shot.
I'm not gonna switch shots regardless. I think that even amongst like good players, it's still too easy to use. And we gotta also add in this, because I feel like it's never really included. We have an MK player base.
So.
If the game's not tuned for their end as well, we're getting shit on. Especially we're playing with, very, very little aim assist.
I think that's potentially another topic, to be fair. Like, what is your opinion on that? Because I've seen, obviously, keyboard and mouse players who don't want to have that separated, but I've also seen a lot of complaints towards people being in the lobbies who are using MK.
Oh, like crossplay?
To have, like, not so much well, people say crossplay, but I think they're a bit misunderstood. I think they mean input-based matchmaking.
Oh, yeah.
And I say that because, like, what people don't seem to realize now is on an Xbox, you can literally plug in a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, you
so
can.
Crossplay at that point, turn that off, would be completely pointless.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you have your thoughts on that? Are you fine having keyboard and mouse players in control lobbies, or? Yeah,
I mean, I'm fine with it. And so I just wish, like, macroing was just not possible. That's my biggest issue with it, to be honest. The scroll shit, bro. Oh my god, bro. They have the most cookie cutter movement of all time.
No, it's definitely different. Like, I remember trying it once. Like, don't get me wrong, I am horrendous. I cannot do keyboard and mouse, but I did try it. I've definitely seen the potential of how effective that could be.
Yeah, and wait till you see somebody that's actually very good at it, bro. That like.
Oh, I have. I've played with helium.
Holy shit, bro.
It's crazy.
That is a different beast. Dude, you're good. I'm not worried about winning, losing, whatever.
Cool. But I think that even though we've gone over that Lancer thing, I just want to put these numbers out there because I get a lot of crap when I talk about the Lancer. But I just want to put these numbers out there just so it's been said because this can't be disputed. Like, this is literally the numbers. So, of what I said before, the individual potential that the current Lancer that we have, in a team of 4 people, you can, in theory, down but not out a player as a team in 0.59 seconds. 0.359, I should say. Which...
Yeah, if you team fire and you beam them?
Yeah. There's just no escaping it.
Oh!
Yeah, I think we've kind of covered the Lancer there, but I feel like we've definitely given some good points there because there's so many things to look at with the Lancer. It's like, in competitive, you guys have got to have that. It's got to work. But in public, it's so game-changing. So hopefully, maybe that can be a consideration with the mag size. Oh, but before we do, actually, what do you think about the reserve ammo that I said? Like, obviously to reduce...
I think the reserve ammo is very, like, that's a very good topic, bro. I rarely ever have to pick up Lancer ammo, like ever, honestly, unless I've been alive for the absolute longest, and it's easily reflected in, you know, my damage done and everything. But yeah, I don't, bro. It's very, very rare that I pick up Lancer ammo. And I don't think that's a good thing, to be honest.
Does that even apply in competitive?
Yeah, that applies to competitive too, for sure, Because I mean, just think about it. In a round-based game mode, you know, you're getting a fresh shot every round for one. And in control, most likely you're not going to be alive that long unless you're going off, and at that point you basically won the game at that point by the time you run out of complete reserve ammo too.
That's interesting because a lot of people say in discussions that obviously the Lancer is using competitive, I get that, but the way people talk about it, it's like you literally never pull out a Nasher. That's what you'd hear. So to hear you say that you don't run out of your Lancer ammo, that's kind of interesting because I guarantee some of the people in ranked do.
No, hey, and that's the funny part. They do. They actually do.
Yeah.
Because bro, they really are sitting there, and they're playing on different maps. Like the maps they're playing on are not competitive. You know, like
that's a good point.
You playing All Fathers and sitting in the middle bowl and just lancing people down literally takes 0 skill. Like there's there's no argument for that. You
just put a smile on my face saying that. Yeah, you really did.
Dead center of the map, bro. They have to come down one. They have 2 options. One like sets of stairs on each side to go to the center hill, and you're throwing flashes, easy to evade. You're just beaming them. That takes 0 talent, none at all. So if I'm playing something like Reactor, right, there's like 3 different places to entry every single point in the map. There's like 3 different places. There's multiple different lanes. I don't really have, for one, I also have power weapons too, because usually on my team at least they gave me kind of all the power weapons. So that's another reason I probably never ran out of the Lancer ammo. But even then, the notion of you never pull out a Nasher in competitive, that's not real. It's not a thing. It's never been a thing. But there, you know, maybe you do use it. I would say it's a balanced extent. You use it less for sure. For sure. Usually when using a shotgun, it's either on initials or it's to capitalize on some type of positioning mistake.
Yeah.
It's never really like, yo, I'm gonna start this push from across the map and I'm gonna finish it with just a shotgun. You know, that doesn't really happen that often. Yes. But yeah, the Lancer is good for playing defensive and getting initial damage. That's pretty much it though, which it should be good for.
Well, moving on from that, if that's cool with yourself, like with you saying they're playing defensive, obviously I was talking to you in your stream the other day, but it's kind of hard to keep up when I'm trying to type. It doesn't work. But
that's a lot, Voodoo. My bad, baby. My bad. I'm locked in.
When bouncing. Now, I know this is an area we do disagree on, but given the scenarios I've just explained, do you maybe understand why in a public setting I wouldn't want to see not the inability to regen health when bouncing if you've got that sort of playstyle at you?
I mean, because honestly, no, I don't really see that, because I feel like you should never really be in a situation where you have to spam bounce at least more than like 4 times, 5 times to dodge shots. At that point, you are doing too much, and at some point, you need to be in cover. Like think about map designs, right? Even
what, sorry?
I can, like, any map design, I could just take you any area of this map, right? To make a push on you, the way you're supposed to push in this game is to advance from cover to cover, like naturally, and use a flash grenade, use a smoke, whatever you tell, right? If I have to bounce 6 times, 7 times, I'm doing everything wrong at that point. Because for one, to even bounce in general, you need to be near a wall, a cover. You know what I mean? You need to be near something.
Yeah.
At some point, you need to get behind cover and regen. And that will also stop people from saying bouncing is OP. So I feel like that kind of balances out and stops people from like spam bouncing in the open too. Which I mean, if you could show me a situation where you truly feel like not being able to reach in would have messed you up, I can agree with you. But I just don't think that situation happens.
I mean, I can't right now because it's not in the game now, but off the top of my head, like, I can't think of an example scenario. Like, you're right. Like, you're not wrong with what you just said, but I just think that people will deliberately capitalize on the fact that they know you can't regen health. Because, like, I think one of the big reasons for why we disagree on this is because of how we view, like, the game. And by that, I mean, the other day you said that you think that playing defensive should have more... I don't want to misquote you because I can't remember exactly what you said, but you essentially were saying that you feel playing defensive shouldn't be as punishing. Am I kind of on the right track with that? Is that, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Actually, you're right. Yeah.
Whereas me, I feel very differently. I feel like if you are... if I'm honest, replace the word playing defensive and replace it with camping. If you're camping, I don't think there should be something in the game to reward you. I don't, because the thing is, like, that's not just a Gears thing. That's going back to, like, the beginning of Call of Duty, like Halo and things like that. People have always frowned on camping. So I think that putting something in the game to make that playstyle more prominent, it just feels like a very backwards thing for me. I can't grasp it.
Mm-hmm. And that's just that's a casual take, man. That's a casual take. Simple as that.
No, I know.
Nothing wrong with it. You know, I'm glad you're saying it.
Like if I is saying you're talking shit, you could have done, but I understand what you said.
So, I'm glad you're saying it, man. Get it out, man. No, stop. But I do get that. Yeah, when I say playing defensive, I'm mainly talking about not defensively with a Lancer, because you should be able to, like, at a certain range with a shotgun, you know you're losing the fight. 99% of the time, you should be losing the fight. Or if you're staying in the same spot, if you're versing a good player, you're gonna get stunned. They're gonna push you, right? You're gonna die anyways. But what I was saying defensively, I was mainly talking about shotguns. When I was saying that,
right, okay. That's interesting. Like, I can understand that, but the only thing, like, you might disagree with this as well, but playing defensive with a shotgun, I've found now, is people doing what I'm doing now. If you want to just turn and look at me, it's people standing like this for you to push them. That drives me insane. Just standing on a corner.
Just holding right hand?
Hey! Yeah, it's such a boring way to play.
But you don't think, like, it being just a cover-based shooter, you should have the advantage? Like, you think the cover should simply, be like the only advantage you have?
Like, I'm going to answer that, and I don't know if you're going to agree with this one, but to me, even like using the literal mechanic, this is not being in cover, this is being in cover.
I thought that. I thought that. I get what you mean.
But people don't do that because of the name out of cover shot delay as well.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that is.
You know the advantage if you're literally in the strafe mode, just standing, hugging the wall. Like, if people used to use a cover properly, that wouldn't bother me.
Good, like, good to have, baby.
I don't know. I didn't think we were going to agree on that one, but I just wanted to, like, put that in there.
Well, you talk about the delay, the cover shot delay?
No, the health regen delay.
The health, yeah. We gotta agree to disagree on that one. That for me, I know that's a competitive take for sure, but I also, it's mainly because I see it as, like, I played with that a lot in Gears 4, bro. And you would expect me to probably, at that point, you expect me to feel how bad that can be in a competitive setting.
Yeah. And
I never felt that way. And even to make it worse, the way that wall bouncing was tuned for that is, after my first slide, every slide after that it had to be shorter or I would roll. You know what I mean? Like at the long bounce, short bounce mechanic. That when you canceled, your slide distance go from what? It was like 7 units to 5.5.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't like that. That was very jarring.
That trust me, I didn't agree with that one either. But for all those different mechanics to be in place to hurt the person pushing and me to still not feel like that mechanic is bad, I don't know, that definitely helped my judgment on whether or not that could be something that could be in the game. Because I feel like when people, okay, so think if you're really bad at aiming, right? Let's take it to somebody that's actually, you know, way below average, right? If I'm bouncing in the open and I'm moving extremely fast, and I know how to move too, right? Like not even just saying like I know how to press A, like I know like,
no,
you know,
I've watched you. I know.
Yeah, I know the LOS like positioning. You know, I know like when to get in and out of cover, everything. But if a bad player is shooting me with a Lancer, right, I can honestly keep bouncing, and they would probably hit me like with a smooth 10% of their shots.
What if that's a whole team that was like I described before? What if it's not just one player? What if it's the whole team refusing to move, hit you with a Lancer? Because like still, like even despite what we said before about the mag size reduction, which might help in like many areas, but if you've got it so you can just keep them a little bit red because they're bouncing, if you've still got a team that's still 80 shots firing at you, of those 80, only 12 need to land, you're still going down, and as a bouncer, you can't regen. That's what I'm trying to say about it being scenario based. I think why we're maybe disagreeing with this.
For sure, you're cooking with the seeking from a team turn. I feel that. I definitely feel that.
Because I understand that in a competitive environment, you're playing with people who don't miss.
Yeah,
I get it, but they also play very differently. Like, I'm not going to go name dropping, I nearly did, but you're not going to get a team of competitive players on a game mode like Escalation, where if they all hide, they're just going to lose because they're going to forfeit the points.
Yeah, and that's the other one that I do want to like debunk that too. In a competitive scenario, it is super rare for me to get shot by all 4 players at once.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it. That's kind of what I was getting at.
That is definitely something that happens in pub matches. At most, I would get shot by 3 people. At most. If the 4th person's on my side of the map, then my team is doing something wrong. You get what I'm saying? Because that means the entire opposite side of the map is open at that point.
But even if, let's say, even if you did get hit by all 4 Lancers at once, the people that are hitting you with Lancers aren't going to benefit from sitting in the same place for 10 minutes, whereas in public and certain game modes, they do.
I get that. That makes sense. Definitely that makes sense. And maybe that could be something that definitely gets looked into.
So I feel like it'd definitely be interesting. Like, I'm not just saying this to like bow down to what you said. Like, I do still think it'd be better without the delay, without the regen delay. Sorry, I do still think it'd be better without that. But I definitely think, before giving a definitive answer, I'd want to see how it played on a tuning with reduced clip size. Before I said it's definitely bad.
So what limits would you like to be put on wall bouncing? Are there any?
Yes, I would like to see what you say. I'd like to see when you're moving quickly, it shouldn't be so easy to be so accurate. I'd like to see the increased bloom when wall bouncing.
What do you mean by that? Increased bloom?
On your, so let's say what you're just doing there, like when you're bouncing, I want to see the randomness of the shot.
Oh yeah, accuracy.
Yeah, like it's the bloom. So like, obviously imagine the circle when you're shooting. That circle gets bigger when you're bouncing, so the shot could go somewhere else within it, so you can't just easily hit a headshot or the body like when you're bouncing. Like your shot could skew if you're at full speed. I'd want to see that, but I'd also kind of agree with what you were talking to Jimbo about the other day. Like, I hope he doesn't mind me naming him.
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
I'd kind of hope to see what you guys were saying. Like, I'd want to see. I feel like the bounce on Gears 5 is too easy. And like, granted, I'm not doing a very good example of that now, rolling into walls. Like, that's not really helping myself, my own argument. But on Gears 3, if I was to go back to that, I cannot move like I can on this. I don't mean mechanically, I mean skillfully. Like, I cannot do it. Like, angle bouncing on Gears 3, I found way too difficult to really do. Like, I could do it, but it took so much concentration, I wouldn't do it in a match. It just wouldn't make sense.
You know, it's funny, like same here. And in Gears 3, I didn't angle bounce. In Gears 3, I used my camera.
Yeah, because it was easier.
Yeah.
Whereas angle bounce on this, you don't even have to think about it, and you can just bounce like a god. Like the idea of hyper bouncing on Gears 3, which obviously is a combination of camera and angle. I never once managed to hyper bounce on Gears 3. Whereas on this, it's really quite easy. So I would say the combination of the bloom when bouncing and just make the bouncing more difficult like it used to be. Like make it so you've got to be more accurate to hit the wall, otherwise you're going to roll on it. And like I know I'll probably get some flack for that because people hate rolling at a wall, and so do I. But I think that wall bouncing should be something that's skillful and takes skill to do. I don't think you should be able to just mash A, which I've always argued.
So would you say that? Would you like Gears 4's movement system? Like, would you? I mean, well, not. I'm not gonna say movement system as a whole. I'm gonna say wall bouncing.
Which version?
Okay, I would say. Do you remember 2.0? It was the one that didn't have the long slide, sword slide, but it had everything, like everything else, and it had no region delay as well. To me, that was my favorite version. That was my favorite one, like by far.
To tell you the truth, I can't remember that one, so I don't want to say yes or no.
Okay.
I feel like, for me, the 2.8 beta, if you remember that one, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that tune. I thought that tune was perfect, with the exception of the regen delay. But again, that's my take on that one.
Dude, I gotta get used to that, man. That's something that's so different for TDM for me, bro. The spawn protection in this fucking game mode is crazy.
Yeah, it'll spawn on you, run at you, and you're just there, pew, pew, pew,
Holy
pew.
shit, bro.
I've just realised I'm 8 and 13. I can't multitask. But yeah, like they're, for me, the two changes, because I think, yes, there needs to be something to make wall bouncing less, I'm not going to say effective, less easy for everyone to do, because the issue
less accessible.
What I see, yeah, because from what I see people saying is that all match every match people are just bouncing, and as someone who likes wall bouncing, it's natural for me to be defensive of that and say, well, no, it's not. But actually, they're not wrong. Yes, it is. Like, it is always people bouncing around. So I just think that if it actually took skill to do it again, then not everyone will be able to do it. And I do think that would touch upon a point that you made as well, which I've also felt, is that a lot of people feel like they look the same in this game. Like, no one really, unless you're some sort of insane player, no one really stands out. I don't think.
You're right. I agree.
Because people can do what back on an older game they wouldn't be able to do.
Yep.
And I think that kind of ties in. I don't know if I get off track too much, but I think that kind of ties into another point of like why the game, in my opinion, for casual, it kind of feels a bit stale because everyone feels the same. There's nothing interesting going on. Every encounter feels
y'all seen this shit?
And there's nothing memorable about it. Whereas I think if good players were awarded for being good and stood out, that would make more incentive for one, people to want to actually go and have fun, but two, people to learn.
Yeah.
Because if the game does it for you, then what is to learn? Like, what's the point in playing?
Yeah. I think the accessibility to movement is definitely a a minus for this game. This game is the easiest when it comes to movement by far.
I feel like this could sound ridiculous, but I think that the movement on this game is amazing if you don't want to pay attention. And that's not a good thing. I think that, well, I shared something on Twitter earlier that it was a clip from an old official Gears of War 4 tips and tricks video, and it was actually on the official channel. And it was a developer, or whoever it was who made the game, made the video, saying that wall bouncing is an advanced technique that can make or break close-range firefights. That's what I think it needs to return to. It needs to be an advanced technique where not everyone can do it. And yes, like if someone is newer to the game, this is going to sound quite harsh, but they've either got the option to learn it or lose to the more skilled player. It shouldn't be a case of let's make the game easy so a new player can do it. I don't think that's helpful.
I feel that, yeah. If that's your advanced technique, I do definitely agree with that, because then everybody's, bro, the skill gap is so it's so non-apparent from a mechanical standpoint in this game. Like in Gears 4, bro, I was super glorified, movement based. You're like, yo, this guy he's one of the best in movement, this and the other. This game, I don't even stand out as much. Like, not even kidding. There's players that never seen before, bro. But they could do the same shit, because not only am I limited to a certain degree, like I've hit my ceiling, you know, when it comes to movement. You can only get so good at movement because there's not as many options, you know. But then when you up that skill floor, which is what they did in this game, the skill floor in this game is so high. Oh my god!
I'm so glad someone else is saying this, man. Like, it's like the entire skill, like from the low end and the high end, is artificial.
Yeah, it's so close, man.
From the low end, it's like this word might sound toxic, but just for the sake of explanation, you've got a bad player who is artificially increasing effectiveness because things are now easy. Then you've got a good player who, this could be a controversial take, who is then limited by a mechanic such as shot delay. Now, the bad player is never going to really feel the effects of the shot delay because they're not moving like that anyway to even notice it exists. Yep. So that potential, like the upper potential of that good player, is massively limited. The effectiveness of the bad player is increased. So all that does is bring. Like, I've got my hands out, not that you can see my hands. Imagine like a linear scale. Yeah, you bring them closer together, and everyone is doing very similar things in that small little skill area, where it's not representative of anyone's skill. Like, you've got players there who don't deserve, in my opinion, to be performing as well as what they are doing, and then you've got players there who should be way outperforming what they are doing, and no one's where they should be in terms of skill. Like, it's, I hope the way I'm wording that makes sense, but by the sounds of it, you get it.
no, I definitely know what you mean. Like, cause that's what I was trying to get at. I definitely think that this game has went backwards when it comes to, you know, I think they really tried their best at making movement accessible in this game. Like, that's why I felt off rip. Even if we can go back to the beginning of Gears 5, bro, it was even worse than it is now, like way worse.
No, it's way better now than it was at launch.
Yeah, like well, we've made it pretty far now. Yeah, back then it was free mechanics. It was shot punching. The movement was actually much faster, like no delays on anything. It was good. I don't like shot delays on anything. I don't think the shot delay should have been added to wall bouncing. It should have been added to LTing and cover. It just shouldn't exist in the game. I don't even like the way that they delayed the. I don't know if you noticed, but this will start some arguments. Even though if you
me in an argument, I've never heard that before.
You used to be able to hold RT and slide into a cover, and your shot will come out. Now, okay, I hate people to up a like in an abusive manner and just do it because that's the only thing they know how to do. But what they did is they actually made it harder for the player that is defending to hit an accurate shot. And they also made it harder for the player that is defending to aim above cover and shoot at the person that's in the open. And I hate that. Like, you know, you have to hold LT for way longer than you used to. I miss when they're like the pop shot and the slap shot were way more effective.
Right, can you, I don't want to 1v you because I'm going to get smacked, but can you load up a 1v1 because I just want to have a look at something. Right, just put it on mid. I just want to test something in the mid box. Because when I say test something, I kind of know the answer, but this is something that was a surprise to me because of the whole idea of the aim out of cover delay. That obviously was added later on in the game.
Yeah.
But it's like, it only seems to matter, or it only seems to work sometimes. Let me just move over one sec. When we spawn in, I'll show you what I mean.
Oh shit, I spectated it. Ripping. Oh, like, it's not starting.
Be against the bot, I might win that one.
I'm like, why is the game not starting? Yeah, I don't like, the LT delay was probably the worst one out of everything else. No, actually, no. The first wall bounce shot delay was the worst thing I've ever played.
Yeah, you had me worried there.
Yeah. That. Okay, but you know what made it worse? What actually made it worse was, at that time, right? The shotgun had the ability to do 99 and 1 outside of chunk range. The movement was way slower, and they added a shot delay. That shit felt terrible. That was worst version of 5 in my opinion. I'd rather the pre.
We'll definitely talk movement speeds in a second, but what I'm going to do now, when this starts, I'm going to run down to mid if you can meet me, because what you said there, I know it exists, but it's one of those things I feel like it can kind of be cheated. but obviously you're talking about when you aim over cover, you've got to wait before you can shoot.
Yeah.
But you don't, because like obviously like not everyone could do this, but like the slap shot, like look how fast, like that didn't work admittedly, but I'm a bit out of practice here, but look how fast you can slap shot, like that's aiming out of cover. So it's like it exists sometimes, you see what I mean?
Yeah, but if you remember the slap shot in Gears 4, you can do the slap shot in Gears 4 and Gears 3 and not even really be exposed at all. You're way more exposed in this game. And it's also a latency thing too. Like I can hit your after image and the bullet magnetism will damn near full spread you. You know, like it's oh my god. I just aimed for it and that shit just hit here. That is just disrespectful.
I just wanted to see what you thought about that, because like obviously if that delay is meant to exist, then how is slap shot possible? Because like I felt a bit silly when I learned this, because I was saying that slap shots weren't possible anymore because of that delay, and I was completely proven wrong. And like, fair enough, I'll hold my hands up, I was wrong. But like, how do you think that's possible if that delay exists? Like, do you think it's a bug, or do you think the delay is not as noticeable as like what we think?
I think that's probably a bug, but yeah, I also am looking at it from a perspective that not every cover is designed to be able to slap shot around. You know what I mean? Like if you're standing at a tall cover, or you're simply trying to aim at something like over the cover. And that's another thing, because they added the delay, and on top of the delay, they also made the hip to hip chunk range. And what used to happen is when you aimed over a cover, because your shotgun is actually more forward, that would extend your chunk range. Because your chunk range was determined by the end of your barrel. It wasn't determined by your character. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So if you're on the other side of the cover and you slide into this cover, I can't chunk you no matter what, pretty much. Because it goes from our character base instead of our shotguns. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you couple that with now I'm delayed as well, I'm punished in two different ways as the person defending the cover.
See, that style of, like, you can end this now if you want to, by the way, but that style of defensive play, I agree with you on that completely.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we should go back to, you know, chunks based off of the end of the barrel of the shotgun, because that is another thing that helps.
That's where your gun is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's for me. I'm not gonna lie, and this was their reason of doing it. It actually is easier to determine chunk range when it's just based off of your character's body. Like, so it's a way bigger visual reference than looking at the barrel of your shotgun and
end of the gun. No, I understand.
Getting that right.
Especially, but what I'd also say then, though, like, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, especially when it changes based on if you're aiming in or not, you know, in certain covers. I do get that. That actually does make sense.
I'll just add to that, though, like, you're right, I get it. But also, I feel like most things on Gears become muscle memory. Like, the active reload, like, when I first started playing, I'd be watching that bar to make sure I was hitting it. Now I just press reload and then active, don't even think about it. Things become muscle memory based on timings and just knowing. So, even if, yes, it's easier to read by player to player.
That back 18 was lit, but it was OP though,
after
bro.
a little bit of time, you get used to
OP though at the same time.
So I don't think it makes sense to change the gunplay just for that, personally.
You said, wait, say that again? My bad. I was talking to chat for a second. You said don't change the gunplay because of...
Yeah, so I think that as a player, like, muscle memory is a big thing. For example, active reloads. You never look at the active reload bar anymore, do you?
No, definitely not.
Not even think about it.
Yeah.
But there was a point where you did look at that because you needed to learn, like,
yeah,
when
the time before it, for sure.
So I understand that looking at the character in terms of distance makes more sense when you're learning. But also, what I'd say is I don't think you should change the gunplay for that, because even if it was at the end of the gun, after a bit of time, you'd learn what that distance is regardless.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. No, you're right. Because the truth is, we were fine with that for a very long time. You know, that only got introduced in this game. You know, like, we were fine before then. It was simply something that they wanted to do. The main reason they did it is because people were constantly complaining about people, like, you know, backhand their right hand, getting slid into, and not being able to gauge that distance to one shot someone. So that's the reason that they actually changed it. That was low key because of a pro complaint.
That's interesting, because I didn't know that. I thought the reason for that change was because of complaints to the reaction shot.
Yeah, nah. The reaction shot, that is supposed to actually be in the game at this point.
Is what?
Okay, so what they changed, what they changed, right, was they changed the way that the shotgun, they didn't change the animation of it, but they changed a lot of the hip to hip as well, because remember the time that the wrap shot was like even more broken than it is now, where you could do like complete wrap shots from like, I can't even say it really, man, but wrap shots used to be 10 times worse. Simple as that. You could wrap a cover that is extremely thick and shoot the person the opposite side of it damn near no matter what. And okay, for example, you know the cover, you know what Juice is on District?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the big cover that usually ends up in like, it's kind of 50-50, and if you up A first, you're gonna just die. Yes, that cover used to be able to wrap shot completely without no punishment and just one shot the guy. And that was what led to them wanting to start, you know, creating different mechanics to not allow that to happen. And you can also wrap shot like the gate on Asylum. Like, think of a cover that thick and you get a wrap shot around it. That's kind of crazy.
And the reason I find interesting.
Say it again.
I was going to like sort of take on a tangent, so you finish that first.
Yeah, I mean that was mainly like, that was the main reasons they were adding in those type of changes for sure.
I was going to say, look, I'm not going to say it never happened, like, because I think it's ridiculous to say things like that. But I think that the idea of wrap shotting was so. Yeah, you come and grab this. I'm going to stop with it. The idea of wrap shotting back on Gears 3. I use Gears 3 as my example because for me that was my ideal game. But back then, the idea of wrap shotting, yeah, it happened, but people would do like outwards reaction shots rather than just what I just did essentially. It was so rare to use it to just wrap around someone's cover. People used to go for it like to do outwards damage, but for some reason on this game, I think it was just made easier. People just started doing it inwards because it was so viable to get people out of cover.
Yeah.
Now I think I might get disagreed with again. I like the idea of reaction shots. Like, personally, I don't care if something's readable. Because I feel like if you know something's in the game and you know something on, let's say you know something's in the game and you know that somebody is in a position to potentially do that, if you choose to stay in that position, I think that's on you. For example, maybe it's a silly example, but let's say you are sat in a cover and you can see someone somewhat in front of you has a boom shot. If you stay sat on the end of that cover, you should know that splash damage of that line of the floor behind you will kill you. So if you stay on that cover, that's your own fault. So I feel like very similar applies to reaction shot. If you know it's in the game, if you stand a corner when someone's pushing you, you should know what's coming. But that said, I don't think it should work on the size of the covers that it did. Like, I understand why that was reduced, but I don't think that like the regular reaction shot should be taken out of the game, even though like visually it's a bit jarring because it's just not everyone can do it. Well, back when it took skill, not everyone could do it. So it's again one of those things. I don't think you should be punishing people's like skills or things that make them stand out, because that's kind of how we've ended up in this position now where everyone does look the same.
Saying nothing, yeah, we definitely disagree here.
Because, no, I thought we would.
To me, that's not skill, bro. I don't see skill in easy rewarded shot like that. I don't see skill in rap shots, man. I see skill in longer fights.
Like, I'm talking about like if it wasn't so much like an inwards one, more of like an outwards reaction shot. That's more what I'm thinking about. But I don't mind if it's on a thin piece of cover. But
okay,
like let's say like watching, but let going out like that. Let's say, hang on, where are you? Where are you?
I'm here.
Come here a sec. Like let's say there was a dude stood here trying to shoot me. Like if I was to go off there and do that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
That's a reaction shot though.
Yeah, that's what but the thing is, technically,
you're right. They're the same thing. Yeah. You're right. You actually are right.
Same camera, the same controller movements, just in rather than out. And I don't have an issue. Like if I go like that, I don't think that's a problem personally.
Yeah, the big problem actually that came from this, that made this a problem in this game, is the animation is different. Like your shotgun, it goes around, it wraps the corner before your character does, and it wraps the corner at a wider angle that your character does, which results in you being able to get a shot from like a wider angle. You know what I'm saying?
No, I can see that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Gears 3, that wasn't a thing, but it still was. That's what I'm saying. That's the funny part that people don't really realize sometimes. In Gears 2, you can reaction shot. You know what I mean? You can reaction shot in the older games. It just, I'm not gonna lie. That's what I say the player base evolved too, bro. Play rates definitely got better, bro. Once these shots came about, bro, you gotta start tuning the game 10 times more, because those were options, but nobody was doing them back then. Even though I think there were times where in certain scenarios they were effective options. So I don't think that's an argument to say like they were ineffective when, you know, in certain scenarios that there absolutely are. Like they have to be.
Oh, I didn't see him.
But I don't know, man. That's a hard one. I just hope they just change the animation so that you can still do wrap shots, you can still do reaction shots. But for wrap shots, it has to be a thin cover. And then for reaction shots, I mean, going outwards is going outwards. It's just mainly about how the animation is for when you go out, like you go up at a cover. If your camera goes like, or not camera, if your Nasher goes wide around the cover and you don't, that's what makes it broken. So
see, I'm completely fine with that, but I don't know. Like I'm thinking, even like given the speed, okay, the speed that someone can fly at you, reaction shot you, and run away. How much difference is it going to make if the animation makes sense? You're going to get hit regardless. Be realistic.
Getting hit, though, is different than getting one-shotted. I don't mind getting hit. That's the truth. I don't mind getting hit, which is why I say if we keep the game as it is, and if they added, like, you know, pellets widening when you slide into covers and when you're bouncing and stuff, the point is I don't care about getting hit, bro. I just don't want to get 101. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair. Like, I do think that right now, I'm guilty of it as well, because it's kind of like you sort of like realize what works in the game and what doesn't, and you kind of pick up a playstyle based on what is working. And like, I definitely wrap shot more now than I ever did before Gears 5 come out. And not because I just want to use the easy option, it's just because you know it's going to work. And it's so frustrating doing something that's not going to work if you know something will work. But I definitely feel what you're saying, that you start to see the same technique used by everyone too much, and that's going back to what I was saying before,
Tony,
the skill gap sort of like in the middle now, where everyone looks the same because everyone's doing the same.
I advocate it. Oh yeah, hold on, Level. I gotta address this. Cause I knew this was coming. All right, so Tony, check it out. He said it was a tuning that all the pros tested and liked and put in the game. I watched the content the pros were loving it. Randoms were saying revert. Which tuning? For one, I think you're talking about the one we're playing on now. But if you're talking about that shot delay shit, fuck no, bro. There's no chance in hell I would ever agree with that. If anything, the pros agree with it, but not the Vexies. And I am easily outnumbered. I'm gonna be real. I'm one guy. I can easily be outnumbered, bro. Even in this tuning, I say remove the shot delay completely. The one we're playing on now, I wanted to remove the shot delay completely, and I wanted the wall bounce acceleration to be higher. I wanted it to start at a higher speed, so we don't feel like it's sluggish when we start bouncing. Every single game has an acceleration. There's not just one flat speed. You start off slow and then you increase in your slide speed. And based on how fast it starts, that's what makes you feel like you're gliding. And I wanted to have more of a glidey feel. I don't like feeling the weight of my character too much.
Whoa.
And I also wanted the shotgun to be a little bit weaker too, which is another thing, because I like for fights to play out longer. And on top of that, I also wanted the chunk range to be shorter, because I don't think that okay, for me, for one, I feel like when you get off a cover and somebody slides into it, I don't think you should be able to get chunked. And there were also out of the option, right, was being able to add the accuracy thing I wanted in. They did add it in for half a second to beta, like to tune it. But the problem is with their coding and what they were able to do at the time, they added the inaccuracies to when you're walking as well, which made strafing feel inconsistent. The game used to have it in. Gears 4 used to have it in where you would become inaccurate as you move and you bounce and stuff. But in Jim Bob's update, he made it where every single shot is consistent, which led to the airbag 8 being broken as hell, on top of adding bullet mechanisms to it. You know what I'm saying? So I promise you, there was a plethora of things that I disagree with, but it happens to come down to what we were able to do at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally what it was. I promise you, bro. We had to take what we had, like we were given, bro. But yes, many people did not agree with me, and it's always gonna be like that, to be honest. And the people that I disagree with the most all the time are the older players, the players that played the Gears 1s, that were the ones that competed in the Gears 2 days and stuff. those are the hardest ones to ever come to any type of compromise with. Like ever. I come to a compromise with a Gears 3, Gears 2 player before Gears 1 any day of the week. Because the Gears 1, they'll break the game down to, yo, let's get this shit back to center screen. You know what I mean? Let's get this back to no wall canceling. And I'm just not going for that. At that point, it goes from a debate to an argument. All right, so back to what we were saying.
Well, to be honest, I think you've just talked about so many things that I find interesting because, like, what you said there about agreeing and stuff, like, I think it's interesting how difficult it is to ever get someone to agree with you fully. Like, everything you just said there, I agree with everything apart from one thing. And I just think that the movement, I think when Gears 5 come out, I don't like the idea of the instant acceleration. I'm glad that it was slowed down. Like, you know, like when you first start sliding, I'm glad it was like that. And personally, I'd be interested to see, like, right now, like, what is it? Because admittedly, like, I had
wait, hold on. I'm confused. Hold on. You don't like what part? You don't like the acceleration? Like, or do you do like that?
No, I don't like how it launched, where you press A and you're instantly at top speed.
Okay, no. I didn't like that either. That was no Zero talking about some fucking Mario Kart feel. Okay, that's different.
Oh shit!
Yeah. No, that is okay. See, that's the other extreme, and that's another thing. That's another thing, guys. Okay, so when we get devs to tune things at that time, the way we had to get things tuned was in extremes. Like, if we ever told them that, yo, just make it a tiny bit, you know what I mean? Just make it a little bit faster and we're at a good point. They would say no because it's not drastic enough or it's not important enough to make a change at that point. That's late. I'm not even kidding. That is word for word what we'd be told. I'm so serious.
That's so disappointing because sometimes it takes a tiny change.
Exactly. But they will literally tell us, and they did it before. It's like, if it takes a tiny change, then we're at a good point. Yeah, it's not enough to get, you know what I mean? It's not enough to get another update in.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is. And that's how we got to this tuning now.
So, based on what you said, though, did I understand right that you don't like how slow the initial slide is?
Yeah, I don't. Because I'm a player, I like hyper bouncing.
So do I, but obviously you know this, but for the sake of describing what it is, like, once you start your slide, you'll reach top speed. If you're hyper bouncing, you're not going to be stopping at starting at slow speed every single time.
No, I am. If I spam bounce, that's why I move extremely slow when I'm like spam bouncing in the same spot. That's why you move slow.
I was under the impression that it, when you start your slide, like what is it now, like 350? Start.
Yeah.
It's 15, and then it changes. Like goes up at what? I'm trying to remember what number.
I think like, you also like
6,150.
Yeah.
So 315, 2,150 per second increase up till 615.
I think it's 650 or 615. It's one of those.
650. I think 650 was launched. I think it's 615 now.
Okay.
But anyway, like, I'm pretty sure when you first start your slide, you're at that 315, whatever it was.
Exactly.
Then once you reach that 600, as long as you're chaining your slides together, doesn't it just stay at the 615?
No, it keeps
Really?
Every single time you press A, it goes to 315 again.
Wow.
You feel me? Because think about it like this, right? If you started at max speed, that would make you an actual pinball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like how it was at launch.
Exactly. You will be a literal pinball at that point. If every time you press A, it is max speed. and
how on earth 3 and 9 is above me?
Yeah, and I don't care, bro. I'll fucking name drop. I'll fucking do it, bro. This is an argument me and Kenny were having for a year and a half, bro. Me and Kenny were going crazy about this argument. Bro, he said, I don't want hyperbouncing to exist at all. I'm thinking that he said, and I told him, I was like, bro, I think the initial point of your bounce is more important than anything that comes after it. The point of starting to me, I think, okay, the way I think is, if I ever have to bounce more than 3 times in a fight, bro, I'm doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand what you mean, but I think you definitely look at it differently to me, because you're looking at it tactically. I'm looking at it as being fun, and I know like this is definitely no, but I'm being,
you're right. No, 100%.
I'm being so literal.
100%.
I know a lot of people do agree with my stance on that. The whole idea that you play is to win. The reason us on the casual side of it play is for fun, and the idea of hyper bouncing. Let's say you say like more than 3 bounces is you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, if you're in somebody's face like, and you're bouncing 3 times, you're trolling. Like, you see what I mean?
But the thing is, like, towards on the casual side of it, who enjoy the movements aspect, it's like if you were to do 100 bounces, you're having fun.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are people that get on the game just fucking wall bounce, bro. Like, that's dopamine, bro. 100%.
I definitely feel like I've just learned something there because I didn't know that. I honestly thought that it was a case of the initial slide speed, and then you remain at that until you start strafing again. I didn't know that it started on every single slide.
Yeah, every single slide resets it.
So in that case, like, I had a suggestion for you to see your opinion, but you definitely not want that now. But I'd be interested to see what you'd think about it if it could be updated the way I thought it worked. And that being, once you start your slide, you keep the momentum once you achieve it. Yeah, once you reach that point, it doesn't slow down each slide.
Okay,
until you start strafing again.
Now, you know what's funny? I had that idea, but now we're going to a point where when you have multiple different numbers like that, that becomes inconsistency. You get what I'm saying? Because let's say, let's say I chain those. Okay, right. So let's say I'm looking at you, right? Okay, like you're on the cover, I'm staring at you, you're waiting for me to slide, you're holding your shot. Yo, is J42 Pop Shot really in my game? Yo. Y'all know who that is, bro. He was an underground kid, bro.
Oh, so I'm gonna get smacked, basically. That's good to know.
Bro, J42 guys, when I tell you that that was the first ever underground clan I've ever joined. I'm being so. That was the first ever team I ever joined in Gears of War. And listen, the strategy. Let me tell you guys. The strategy of that team was camp and spawn on God, on everything I love, brother. We picked Blood Drive, and we would stay on our half of the map and not move up the stairs. And to make it worse, my teammates had modded Hammer Burst. It was chalked back then. Okay, but back
you've just given me a nosebleed here.
back to. Bro, we had underground matches that lasted 3 hours, bro. 1 game, 1 map, 3 hours. I'm being so serious.
I can believe that.
Yes, Deshaun, I was in J42, bro. Okay, but all right, back to what I was saying. What were we talking about? Please bring me back to the conversation.
We were talking about movement speed, and you said it'd be inconsistent if we started changing the. But let's say it, like you start your slide speed, then it just stays at a higher speed. We're talking about that. You said.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So let's say you're holding your shot, right, and I'm sliding to your cover. I start off that slow, so you're able to react to me. You know what I'm saying? You're able to react to me, you know, and hold your shot and get the kill. Now, if I chain bounces together, right, and I build some momentum, I'm gonna slide at you like the fucking Flash at some point. And I feel like that's unfair to you because I'm sliding at you at multiple different speeds. You get what I'm saying? And that's extremely hard to calculate. Like, even muscle memory wise, you're just purely visual at that point. And I have the advantage, in my opinion.
I understand, but like, if we do, I'm not going to literally do the math because like my brain doesn't work that well. But let's say, like, let's just make the math way easier. So one of the first ones they did was start at 300, increase at 2,000 every second until you reach 600. How fast do you reach that 600? Like, you're going up, it's going to take what, a fraction of a second to reach that top speed, and then you're going to be at that top speed anyway.
Those milliseconds matter, fam. They matter, bro.
No, I understand, but like in terms of like flying at someone, you're going to be at top speed pretty much immediately anyway. So if someone can't read that, then there's something wrong with them.
I get it. I get it, but not if I don't have a wall bounce cooldown and I'm hyper bouncing, because I can easily stutter a bounce and still keep the momentum and do like a long ass slide. You know what I mean? Like at that point, I feel like that makes wall bouncing OP, bro. That kind of makes it OP.
But then that goes back to what you were saying before, though. Like completely going back before. Like you remember how when you first asked me the question, you said, "What's your main?"
Yeah, the main But I don't want to be bouncing consistently at max speed. I want the acceleration to be there. I just want it to be a little bit faster. I don't want it to be like every bounce is max speed, because that's what you're insinuating. You know what I mean? You're telling me that I'm keeping the momentum of my previous bounce, even if it went to the top speed at that point. You get what I'm saying?
I understand, but like I say that when you first asked me your question, you were saying like what mechanic or what tuning do I think would need change the most, and I said to you, you can't just do one thing. It has to be a full collection of things to see how it runs.
Right.
And part of that is like what we're talking. What am I doing? Part of that is what we were talking about before with making the wall bounce take more skill. So now I think that if you're good enough to reach the point where you could change those bounces at that speed, you should be rewarded for that. The guy that you're flying at should be like, oh wow, I've just been massively outskilled. Because granted, it doesn't apply to this game because the bouncing is far too easy. But if you're on a game where the bouncing takes skill, it's difficult to do. The person that isn't able to track you at your earned skill speed should lose that encounter. I think that skill and ability should outdo, like, not.
No, I feel you on that, but like, bro,
I'm not
like, I feel like that's one of the most broken things you could do to somebody, though, bro. Is literally consistently bounce at the max slide speed available. But I can't.
I don't know what Gears 3 was, and no one really complained about it back then.
But Gears 3 had way more, like, it had way more animations that kind of balanced it, and it had a way stronger shotgun, bro. A way stronger shotgun that could punish that shit from deep. And way like more impressive weapons. You get what I'm saying? The point of countering Gears 3 movement was just how strong everything in the game was. This game is not, you know what I mean? This game's weapons are not as strong as that to contain something like that.
Okay, well, as we're talking about Nash's strength, this again might be a controversial topic, but it's something that I used to be extremely against. I thought it was a very silly idea. And I know that I think when people first hear it, they're going to say that's an awful idea, but give me a chance to explain why I say it. The one shot down that used to exist from the Nasher.
Oh, you about to say bring that shit back?
Yes, and now hear me
man,
out.
Bro.
Hear me out. I'd say I used to be against it, but all you get now, I'm going to make up distances because I don't know them, but let's just say the gib range was 100 UU. And if people are fighting, if they're stood at 101 UU, they're going to get 99 in 1, which is going to annoy them.
Right.
So rather than that happening and just allowing the other person to step one step forward and get the body, which is just so frustrating, why not have it so when you're that 1 UU or whatever outside of gib range, that you do get a one shot down instead of the 99 in 1? Because then it doesn't kill the person that goes down. Yeah, the chances are they're going to lose, but they're still in a fight until something happens. Like, let's say there's a teammate there. The teammate then will become the priority rather than the down.
Yo, bro. This one, you know, I ain't gonna lie. You bring that up as well. I'm happy I'm talking to you, bro. Bro, I just got pissed off here, and bro, you just made some people happy, bro. You actually you just made some people happy, bro. You saw I missed the one shot down. Okay,
I'm not saying I miss it. I'm
saying they're saying that. They're saying they missed one shot down. But I get what you're saying, right? But what I would say in response to that, is no matter what, as long as we have a gun that is able to do a one shot at a small distance, there's always going to be a distance that it just doesn't do that anymore.
No, of course, but I think there needs to be some middle ground between it is a kill and it isn't a kill, and that middle ground in the past, if we are being honest, was it had one shot down you. Now it's just, oh, you did 99%, the other guy survived, now you're going to get blown away because you can't shoot again before he can.
Look, you know what, because it's a down, it's not an instant kill. I think I agree with that, because at least when you get a down and you know you gotta shoot another shot at it, or you gotta meat shot or whatever, so
well, there's something, yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because I understand back in the day it was annoying to get one shot.
But down. I was about to say that. I'm like, bro, that was one of my least favorite things when Gears 3, bro. Getting a fucking one shot down.
It really annoyed me, but I think if we're being honest with ourselves now, having experienced the one shot down gameplay and now gameplay where you
the timing,
someone get 99% in 1 and then you die, which is more annoying. I think more annoying is 99% in 1 rather than getting one shot down. And that's what swayed me, because I used to be so against it. I thought it was such a bad idea. But I think it's really got a place
Okay, so okay, let's go further into Gears 3 mechanics then, right? 90, it had the 90. I mean, it had the one shot down, but you know, it also had auto chunk, right? What would you say about auto chunk coming back?
I'll be honest, I've not heard that.
You know about that? Okay, so there, if you watch any Gears 3 video, I can show you. There's two differences in getting a one shot kill. There's an auto chunk kill where you pretty much missed most of your spread, but because you're close enough and maybe they took a little damage, it's like, you remember how in Gears 3 sometimes when you nash somebody, it feels like they just splatter and like you don't see their body or anything, like no remains.
Yes, they just vanishes.
Yeah, that's an auto chunk kill.
Right. Okay.
And that,
I've not heard it referred to that, but I know what.
That was an actual in-game mechanic, bro, to help you get kills. And holy shit, I hated auto chunk because host. You combine that with host, bro.
I don't think there should be anything in the game to help you get kills. I think
okay. So just
possibly
wait, but the one shot down helps you get kills though, bro.
But it doesn't, because like, it stops you getting punished for a very minimal distance being out. So let's say I don't know what the ranges are, so I am making up numbers. But let's say you're like 1 to 5 UU out of chunk range, but quite frankly, that kind of deserves a kill. You've managed to close the gap, but you're just a hair out of range. If you do that shot and get the one shot down, you haven't got the kill, but you kind of guaranteed it. Let's face it. But if you shoot, you've made up all that distance, you shoot, and then you get 991. The other guy steps forward 1 step, you win. You lose, rather. He wins. I don't think it should be that way. I think that's why people get so frustrated as like that happening. I think if rather than getting the 99-1, I think if they got it down, they'd be less annoyed about it.
Yeah, I guess. Oh man, bro. Because
I'll be honest. To accept that,
yeah, I don't. I really do not. Yeah, bro, Tony. I'm kind of scared of hearing the one shot down talk, bro. Cause I could envision myself being on main stage, bro. Right? I make the perfect push, everything else. I close distance. I'm about to go for a chunk, bro. And the guy panics and one shot downs me, bro. In my eyes, I feel like I like the hold your shot meta more, bro. I like that you gotta really be super careful about spacing, and that is a competitive way to think. Because one shot downs, it doesn't exist. You don't gotta ever worry about that. But hold on. We do gotta add this too. One shot downs only happen when you had an active, right? I could have sworn you had to have an active, and that's no longer in the game.
I think so.
I swear you only get a one shot down with an active.
I think you're right. But what I'm saying is to have it, regardless of whatever it was that caused it in the past, to have it as that middle ground between a kill and not a kill. And I think that should only apply in an extremely small margin. Like I'm talking like a couple of UU. If you're just ever so slightly outside of gib range, where you would get 99-1, where it's kind of like you feel like you're getting screwed over by the game because you've done everything right to get that close, but you were just fractionally too far away. And the thing is, even if we're talking such minuscule amount of distance in that like few UU, that could be not so much down to play doing something wrong. That could even come down to latency.
I'll go say you're right. Latency does matter. That definitely does matter.
So I think if you've got something there to account for that, it'll feel way less frequent that you feel like you're getting bullshit in the game.
Fuck.
I understand your reluctance. I was the same, but I just feel like it's a good option.
It makes sense. I can't be mad at that, especially when you bring in latency too. We're on, I'm so glad we're not on host to host or peer to peer service, because that wasn't it. Those days were not it. I never want to go back to something like that.
No, we've got to be away from that.
Yeah. So, but I'll be, I'm not gonna completely shut that down, because I'm interested in seeing how it would play out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like definitely.
I think all of this would have to be play tests. I don't want to say, oh, we're going with that because it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Fun. I think it's definitely going to be play tests.
There's certain things I want to shut down, but this one is one of the ones I'll go into with an open mind for sure.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, actually that wasn't that bad of a mechanic. But okay, another thing. Okay, back to what I was saying. When we were talking about like limiting movement and stuff like that. Another reason why Gears 3 movement in itself, like without weapon balancing, anything like that, where it was more balanced, is only the bouncing was OP. Like not OP, but only the bouncing was limitless like that. Do you remember how it felt to actually hit a cover in Gears 3 and like get off of it? It is extremely
it felt very sticky.
Yeah, it is extremely different than what we have now.
Do you think that's what made it more difficult though?
Yes, I do. Because when somebody started bouncing at you, you know that they had to keep bouncing at you, and they couldn't hit a wall at some point and to get off it. Because once they hit the wall, they're pretty much dead every time, unless they're like upping you. And upping became a thing kind of towards the later end of Gears 3, which is funny. But yeah, I think maybe that's something else that we should do. I know a lot of people won't agree with that because they don't like, you know, any type of clunkiness. They want the game to feel very fluid, and we are in like a more fluid era of gaming in general.
Well, to be honest, I agree. That's what I wanted. Like, that's the sort of feel I wanted when I was talking about acceleration in the first place. Like, I wanted to try and move back to that feel of the game. I just think that'll feel like... I don't think it'll feel better. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I don't think that's fair. It won't... Like, obviously, smoothness feels better. But I feel like it'll make it take a bit more skill than what it is now.
You're right. The clunkiness adds to the skill gap. That's the truth.
Yeah. So, and I'd like to see that. Though.
And that actually goes back to me saying, I truly do not want a game similar to this one where like movement is so easily accessible and everybody just knows how to just abuse it by simply pressing one button. That right there will really have to make you think. If you hit a cover and it wasn't as simple as you could spam defensive back A's, you could spam, you know, multiple different cover grabbing movements, we might be talking. You know, it might be a way bigger balance to it for sure.
As much as I admit I do utilize them in this game because why would I not? Because it's literally there. I would prefer it not be there, and I'd rather it took a bit more skill to do, because that way less people would be doing it, and the people who are doing it, you know, they've earned the not right so much, but they've earned the how do I word it? They've earned the skill that they've got to be doing that. So if it is effective, they put a time into being able to do that.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely do like that. Yeah,
that's the best way I can word.
Yeah. I feel like this game kind of allows. It's funny to say this. This game allows so many options that it seems like there's no other option but to just play one fast play style.
Yeah.
And it's so backwards, bro. I don't even know how to really say that without sounding like a goofball.
I know what you mean. Like, it's one of those things that doesn't make sense in words, but you can visualize it.
Yeah, it's the vast opposite side of playing Gears 1, where you have super limited options, so everybody has to play one play style. It's, you know what I mean? Like, Gears 1 is the same thing to me, bro. Like, UE, the no wall cancel gameplay, the center screen, shotgun, all that. I don't like a bit of it, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I hate that. Like, I understand. I'm not going to sit here and say there's no skill to it, because there is. It's a different skill. But I think that people, I'm not going to say nostalgia, because I'm sat here saying I want Gears 3, but I think people remember a time that wouldn't ever come back, even if they had that playstyle back. I think that it'd just be a case of, right, now the game's slower, but people still play even slower, and people be so bored, like, excuse me. I know, like, there was a little bit of a discussion on Twitter the other day about UE. I think that was a perfect opportunity for the no wall cancel to say, right, this is clearly what people want. Look how much the game's popping off. It never did. It didn't happen. And I don't think that people want that to the extent that people make out. Now, I heard in... Yeah.
I agree with you, and that's why I know some people don't agree with this because they don't want to divide the community again like we had in Gears 4. But I would love the option where we can have I would like to call it a core gameplay where there's no canceling, not center screen. You can only do one. You can't do both. That's too much. Yeah. But there's one that has no canceling and one that's like the modern playlist where you do have slide canceling in it. Because that mechanic alone, I feel like that changes more than any other mechanic we can speak about.
So I've got a positive and negative answer to this, and I want to see what you think about it. So, on paper, what you said there sounds absolutely fantastic. It'll keep pretty much everyone happy. Of course.
Yeah.
But I want to look back at Gears 5, and... How? On Gears 5, when they introduced the ranking system, you know, bronze through master. That I don't know if you do. You know how the matchmaking worked for that, or do you want to?
No, I actually don't. I actually don't.
No. Okay, so that worked on at first what they called a +1 -1 rank system, which meant
like
I'm just messing around. I'm just messing around, sort of talking now. Sorry, but it meant, let's say you were a gold player, you could be matched with like 1 below or 1 higher. So let's say you were gold 3, you could be matched with anyone from silver 1 through to onyx 3.
Okay. Yeah.
But the problem was I can't prove this, but I believe, I shouldn't say for definite, but I believe that the issue they were having was the matchmaking times in Europe and other parts of the world were so long. Like, I was talking to chat before you got here. My longest matchmaking time on this game was 2 hours 57, and that was near the launch of the game, which is ridiculous. So to combat that, I believe that they definitely changed it. I don't know if it was to combat that, I should say, but they changed it from -1 +1 to +2 -2, which meant that gold player could be matched with anyone from bronze 1 to diamond 3, which obviously that massively increases the player pool for the matchmaking, which did help the issue. But what that did in turn was completely
it's not ranked to that point.
System pointless. Like, you're playing with literally that gold player could match with anyone who wasn't masters. What's the point of that? So my question would be, yes, on paper it sounds absolutely amazing to give people the 2 options to play the one they want. But what happens if and when the game slowly starts to lose player base? Which, that's not me trying to be negative and toxic about the game. It's just games do eventually lose players as people move on to different things, whether that be through dislike or just generally age of the game and want to do something else. So when that happens and the player base potentially gets too low in one of those modes, they then have to look at that and see, right, which one has the most players, potentially get rid of the one that doesn't have much players. The issue I see there is, yes, they've had their fun because the great part of it was they could experience the version they wanted. But when that has to get all pulled into one for the sake of being able to matchmake, if that did happen, would they be happy about that? Like, would they not feel it's very jarring going from, let's say, being used to no wall cancel to suddenly people flying around? Or let's say they were used to flying around and going to the no wall cancel? I think it would be very jarring. I think it might even be enough to change people from being like, oh, I wish this wasn't quite like this in the mode that everyone's the same, to them being, oh, well, this is extremely different, I don't want to play no more.
I can see that happening.
I can. That's the concern I had. Like, when I was listening to you guys talking about that, I thought it sounded so good, but what if? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, definitely. See, you can't please everything, man. You just can't.
No, of course.
Can't. It's hard, bro. It's hard. The main reason I would want the split tuning too, that's just seeing what everybody's saying in my chat too, is it's not, I know for a fact it's split in the community, right? It divides it. But I personally, I want to see what these numbers are for who likes what and who sticks to what after like 3 months of the game being out. I want to see what part of the community is bigger. If more people will actually truly enjoy the no canceling, you know what I mean? Because of how accessible it is, because maybe we have to bite the bullet and we got to play a game like that, or the otherwise, you know what I mean? The other way, they want the more fluid version of the gears.
I think what you said there, I think that's something that I think personally I'd reword, and it's that's how games have the potential to die off.
You're right, but we need some type of test though, right? Like,
no, but what I mean is that on this game I've seen so many, like, people don't believe me because I don't think they want to believe me, but that's up to them. I've seen so many people telling me and just voicing it that they stopped playing literally because of the slide cancel shot delay. They stopped playing.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Hey, trust me, you should see my old video of when I said I don't like multiplayer. Bro, the comments, bro. The comments, oh my god. It was like this when they slowed the game down, made the 99-1 shotgun, the shot delay, all that, bro. That, I'm telling you, that tuning alone is literally what nailing the coffin for the player base, bro. Nailing the coffin.
No, I agree. I completely agree. That's literally the point I was making. But when like the way you worded something, you said we might have to bite the bullet and play it. No, like an option is also but simply an option is I'm not going to play anymore. But then what, you've just completely screwed up the game, and it's too late. Then you've just lost everybody. So I think they've got to really look beforehand that who wants what. And I heard Jim Bob say to you the other day, I don't keep mentioning him, but I like him. I'm not knocking him. I'm just like for the sake
no,
of
definitely. He doesn't mind.
Yeah. I hope he understands.
No, he doesn't mind at all.
Yeah. But he said that he feels like most people prefer the no wall cancel, and I think he's right. But of those people, who are they? I think they are mostly the brand new players who
probably haven't even played the game, honestly. Right?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I hear, oh, we've got to be welcome to new players and increase the player base. I get it, and I also get it, but to an extent, I can't agree to all of it. And it's a sense of Gears has been out since 2006, and it's been on Game Pass since like 2016.
Please say it. Please say what I think you're gonna say.
It's like if I don't know what you want me to say, but I was going to say.
Go. Say I know what you're gonna say.
If in that amount of time somebody hasn't got into Gears or made any attempt to get into Gears, then chances are they don't care about Gears. They'd be just looking. It's like, oh, this is a brand new game. Let's give it a go. It's on Game Pass. But they're not going to stick on Gears. The people who care about Gears are. So I think it's ridiculous. Not even just Gears. I mean, any game in general, to completely tune the game to the players who don't care about the game. Like, how does that make sense? Like, tune it to people who do.
I agree with that.
I'd be saying, like, yes, the no wall cancel might be the preference for many, but of those many,
who's really going to stick around?
In Gears. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand there will be long-term Gears fans who do prefer the no wall cancel. I know that is a thing, but I don't think. I don't know, man. I think that of the actual Gearheads, I think more people who have stuck with it prefer the more fluid movement. I can't prove it. I haven't got the data, but it's just my observation. I think that.
Actually, I agree with that. I definitely do agree with that.
What was it? I'm curious. You were thinking I might say. I'm intrigued.
I wanted you to say either that, what you just said, or just say simply that we have played Gears, and Gears 1 is the only game that does not have that shit. Simple as that. Gears 1 is the only game that is going back so many levels, right? If 2, 3, 4, 5, Judgment all have slide canceling, you know what I mean? That is a super risk, in my opinion. To turn it back that much.
Do you know what I think a lot of people don't know as well about Gears 1? Like, I can't apply this to UE because obviously it's a remaster of Gears 1, but it kind of falls into place. But not many people know that Gears 1, up until very, very close to launch, was only going to be a campaign.
Oh, so yeah.
Obviously,
I talked to about that.
Movement didn't matter. Like, you're going through a campaign. Like, no one, like, obviously the thought wasn't there at that point, but there was never going to be a thought, oh, maybe a player might want to hyper bounce through the campaign mission. Obviously not. But they added multiplayer in pretty close to the launch of that game.
Yeah.
And they literally just took the tuning from the campaign, dumped it in the multiplayer, and said, have fun. So, of course, there was no wall cancel or things like that. But then even back in Gears 1, wall bouncing started in Gears 1 because people didn't want to be getting stuck to walls and being all funky. They were trying to be more interested with the movement back then. That's why Gears 2, Epic, introduced the wall cancel as a literal mechanic. So if people are trying to get out of getting stuck to walls in Gears 1, what makes people think that they want to do it in 2024? Also, I'm sorry to just rant on about this.
No, you're right.
In Gears 5, they actually did an event, which potentially, I don't know, maybe it's a test or maybe it was literally just an event, I don't know. But it was where they literally did an event where there was no wall cancel. And I personally didn't see much positivity towards it, but my experience of it, I was getting ready for work and I spawned in because I just wanted to have a quick go before I went. I was on Harbour, I spawn in, run past the bit of cover at the start because a teammate pushed me out of the way, and I tried to just
take a wall?
Slide cancel off a wall. I took cover on it. I said, this feels horrible to me. That was all the time I spent on it. I hated the feel of that. It was awful.
And to make that even, to push that point even further, bro, you understand, the only way I had fun playing UE was in a scrim or in a tournament. Bro, you guys can go back to my channel. I don't have like any videos of playing pubs on that game. That game was ass for pubs, bro. Even though maybe it could be the map design too. Some of those maps were terrible, but that game, pubs were terrible, bro. Like, it was not fun whatsoever.
I didn't like. So the thing is, maybe I'm biased at that, but I just do not enjoy that gameplay. Which is why I said the other day that if it is like that, I'm not even saying this in like, oh, you must do what I say, otherwise, blah blah blah. Just be a case of,
you're right, bro.
Game,
Nobody enjoys that. But arcade is a terrible game.
That's a reasonable thing for anyone to say. And I won't. Like, if that game has no world cancel, I'll play the campaign because I think the campaign could be amazing. But the multiplayer, I'm not gonna be interested in that. I think it'd be boring.
I'm gonna be honest, bro, and I'll let you guys know this now, and y'all quoted against me because y'all the real ones. Y'all hear it when it first starts. But if that game has no wall canceling, I might be fake, boys. I'm gonna be real. I might be fake. I might be faking it. I might be faking it just because I love just the Gears of War franchise. But I promise you, I will not be enjoying myself. I'm letting y'all know that now, and I said it multiple times. So y'all, bro,
I understand.
Huh? That game is, bro, that version of Gears of War is not fun to me, like, at all. I'm definitely, even though I'm a competitive player, I am one of the players, bro. I get on here for the dopamine rush of movement. I'm so serious. Without that, I do not want to play this game. I don't get on here to fucking chainsaw somebody, bro. Not anymore. I'm past that.
Not
you know? I'm much past that, bro.
I don't know. It just feels like it'd be a step backwards. I know some people want it and they generally don't like wall bouncing.
Okay, what about?
I think it'd just be.
Go. Finish that.
I was going to repeat myself and say I just think it'd be a step backwards.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so what do you think about center screen then? Keep the side canceling. You know, that's an interesting one for me though, man. That I'm way more willing to accept center screen aiming than I am no wall canceling, by far. Because center screen aiming is the natural for like literally every shooter, bro. Like, what other shooter doesn't? Even Fortnite has center screen aiming.
Yeah, but like, why? Like, Gears, like I heard again in your like discussion with Jim Bob, you said like Gears is a niche game. It always stood out for being unique. So why would you be wanting to copy something other games do? It's different, and it was good because it was different.
But it's more than that. It's more than that. It's also, like, this is another competitive opinion. It solves a lot of the problems we have with certain shots and certain things being strong. Like the way rap shots work, that would not exist in yes, but that's what I'm saying. Rap shots wouldn't exist, but you could still reaction shot on center screen aiming. You get what I'm saying? So you still get the outwards, but you don't get the inwards anymore. Through the top of the cover.
Oh my god, I'm so bad. No, I get it. I just personally wouldn't enjoy that gameplay. Like, I can't even justify it with reasons or actual discussion. I just personally would not enjoy it. I can't even back it up with any reasonable comment.
That's also, did you like Judgment at all?
As an overall game, no. I think it had aspects which were interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Overall, it didn't feel like I think if it wasn't called Gears of War Judgment, it was just called Judgment, I think I'd have liked the game a lot more than I did. But for me, I think Gears has a certain core formula, and if it doesn't feel close enough to it, I'm not going to think it's a good Gears. But it wasn't a bad game in its own right. It just wasn't a good Gears game. Yeah,
the only thing I don't like about center screen aiming is just how hard it is to chunk somebody, bro. That shit feels so inconsistent.
It feels like I've got to try so hard.
Like when you get
that is middle of my screen.
Yeah, when you get close to somebody, it's so awkward. It's like unbelievably awkward.
You're throwing your camera all over the place. Like,
Is he like you know what I mean? Like, is he in his screen?
I thought that was just me. To hear a pro say they can't aim either,
bro. That's why I say that as a joke. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you want that back? I want you to get on the game with me right now and tell me how to chunk somebody. I'm not being so serious.
I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, it's like you're really dancing with somebody, and that is you know, that's the thing I do like about it, because I do want fights. I want natural fights to be longer. I do like natural fights to last. You know what I mean?
I do.
And that dumb inconsistency does makes the fight longer, but in the wrong way. In the absolute wrong way.
No one's able to hit
you.
That's why it's longer.
Yeah.
Like, you just stop, go and pick up more ammo and carry on again.
Exactly. No, honestly, like I've seen some crazy shit happen because of that. And then, you know, you even have just the random inconsistencies, like people getting stunned by frag grenades and stuff like that. Like I can't get behind that, man. And then those are also the same players that they will also tell you that respawn game modes don't belong in Gears. You know, they tell you center screen aiming. That's what I'm saying. Those are the ones I can't agree with, like damn near anything. Like those are the ones that start arguments, and it's not a debate.
Right, I've just experienced something which I know you agree with me on, but I want to talk about it because I hate it. It's going quite off topic of what you just said. The cover links and the way they work on cover.
Oh
when
my
you
God.
Take cover, can we
Why
start
can't we
taking cover
at
on
the end? At the end of the cover, yes, 100%, 100%, 100%. I was gonna say that.
God.
I'm like, if you want to make accessibility options, right? And you know what's funny, guys? And I know some of you guys probably not like this, but I was asking for a single stick years ago. I'm be real. I was asking for a single stick many years ago, guys. I'm so serious. I literally was saying, I wish there's an option where my screen wouldn't automatically drag back to the middle every single time I press like an action button. You know, cover swapping, grabbing cover. I wanted single stick to exist. I knew that it would make movement feel more fluid. But they also made everything more accessible, so you know, it became a little broken. But yes,
I feel like I'm the only person who's never tried single stick. What actually does it do?
Okay, so you know how okay, when you spawn up, I'll literally take you to some part of the map. So I want you to do me a favor, right?
Yeah.
Look downwards, okay? Look downwards and slide to the wall that's in front of you. Now you see how your screen went back to the center? On single stick, that doesn't happen.
Really?
No, it doesn't happen. That's why I play it. Your screen stays wherever you have it. So you can turn single stick on and literally do the same thing. You're gonna still be looking downwards.
That's weird.
Yeah, but it's
what's the advantage of that?
It's fire though, because now on these type of covers, I can literally cancel bounce and shoot 100 times and still have my shot preemptively lined up, without having to move my screen every time I start a bounce. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that. I'm gonna put it back because that felt a bit weird.
And it also makes like angle bouncing feel even easier. Even easier than it already is.
Do you see that as a good thing or a bad thing? Because we've been saying that we take more skill.
I'm about to start an argument. If any pros out here, bro, it's chalk for me. But I like it. I think it's I think it should be an option for sure. Not the it taking over your screen as a camera in a movement stick, but I want the option to not have my screen reset every single time I press A.
I was noticing it was resetting just when I was just standing there, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the whole point of playing it.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't. I've heard about it so much, didn't know what it did.
Mm-hmm.
So how come people complain about that? Because I do see a lot of dislike towards it. Like, what is the?
It's just another thing that makes movement way more accessible. Right. I'm gonna be real. A wager player, like a player that doesn't even play real competitive on single stick, is fucking deadly, bro. Like.
So, on the topic of movement, I already know what your answer is going to be, but for the sake of having it in this discussion, what do you think it is about this movement on Gears 5 compared to other games that makes it easy?
The activation cone. Yeah. So, it's basically, for you guys to understand what I mean by that, the cone for this game is super like wide, and you can bounce from so many angles, almost to getting 180 degrees. This is the only game that you can literally bounce backwards damn near on purpose. You could not do that in other games. And like Gears 4, think of it as omnidirectional like evade, right? In Gears 4, let's say you had like 3 options in front of you, right? You have 3 options. You could bounce forward, left, or right? Or we can add diagonals, so you can say 5. This game, it feels like you have fucking 9. There's extra diagonals in the diagonals, which makes this game feel extremely easy to grab any cover you want.
I've just had a question in my chat. I don't know the answer, so I'll ask you. Is Gears 5 the first game with single stick in it?
Yes, yes it is.
Yeah, so, yeah, okay.
And yes, that is one of the biggest differences between Gears 4 movement and 5. And that difference alone made it so easy to wall bounce, bro. So easy. Even on alternate.
Is that no? So this is maybe me not understanding the terminology of it, but is that the omnidirectional, or is that just something else?
Omnidirectional. That's just about that setting is just about rolling. That is literally just about rolling at multiple angles. But I use
me
that
sliding like this. That's nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that setting. That setting it literally only has to do with, omnidirectional evade. With that off, you can only roll forward, backward, left, and right. But with it on, you can roll forward, backward, left, right, diagonal left, diagonal right, you know, back left, back right. You get what I'm saying? You just get the 4 extras. So yeah,
I think it's been interesting, like what we've talked about tonight, because we both like wall bouncing. We both have completely different ideas on how to go about making it good, in terms of like the restrictions, like because you want the health regen and I want to be able to reaction shot and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think the one thing we could both agree on is it needs to take skill now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that needs to apply to everything in the game, not even just movement. Like everything needs to be taking more skill. Like we talk about a lancer with the mag size, like all things like that. Everything needs to be working together in the same tuning for the tuning to make sense. Because let's say you were to make one chain and the rest just be completely weird. What's the point?
I feel you. And just to even go on top of that, for you guys in the chat, you guys hear aim assist, you guys think of just one thing, like the game aiming for you, right? Gears of War is one of the only games that has literal like no aim adhesion. I'm being so serious. When you drag your cursor across somebody's body, you don't feel anything, bro. The only thing this game really has that you could possibly see is bullet magnetism. And you don't even feel friction either. I don't feel friction, at least.
It's extremely low.
Yeah, it has to be super slight.
For the sake of people who don't know, can we explain that? Do you mind?
Yeah. Okay. So there's.
Oh yeah, sure. I was going to be sure.
Go ahead. Okay, so
no, you go.
Yeah, the easiest one to explain off rip is rotational aim assist, right? What that does is that is when the fucking game drags your screen to that damn player. So think of it as you're playing Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure everybody here has played Call of Duty, right? Somebody jump past your screen, and your screen snaps. That's rotational aim assist activating. This game does not have that, or I don't think it has that. Does it have that? Livo, do you feel like it has a rotational? It had it before.
So at launch, it introduced adhesion, and it was extremely strong. And it got a lot of backlash, and that was granted the magnetism was higher back then, but it was the adhesion that most people complain about.
Yeah, because adhesion, you feel like when you're dragging over a target, adhesion is it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the stickiness of when you drag over a target, right? So it's that slowdown you feel when you like cross somebody's body, and you can feel that slowdown in you can feel that in Apex, you feel that in COD, because it's there. In this game, you feel like you don't feel it as much.
I feel like an idiot correcting you, but I don't think you're quite right.
What for adhesion?
Yeah, because adhesion is like when you're aiming that, or at least on Gears, the way it worked was if let's say you were aiming your lancer down sights and someone's strafing in front of you side to side, it will start to drag your cursor to somewhat keep up with their gun, so it's way easier for you to monitor them.
That's rotational.
That's adhesion, dude.
That's rotational. Rotational aim assist. Sure? Yes, I am a 1,000,000% sure.
That's interesting because I was 1,000,000% sure it was adhesion. Like friction's the one where if you're aiming over someone, it slows down.
Maybe it's because I played. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. In like FPS games, rotational aim assist is the aim assist that you feel when the game is taking over your controller and it's moving to the target for you.
So about Gears, I'm pretty sure the developers, I don't want to name people, but I'm pretty sure the developers
they probably did call it adhesion.
There was 3 types of aim assist that they said was in Gears. It was a friction, which was when you're aiming over someone, it slows down your kind of slows down your sensitivity, so it's easier to keep your shots on them. Then you got your magnetism, where if you missed them slightly, it'll sort of vacuum the shots in. Adhesion was the one they added to Gears 5, which is what they said it was called.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's what's called in this game there for sure.
Yeah. So we'll probably talk about the same thing, but call it different stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, because no, rotational aim assist is like 100% a thing in like games like Call of Duty, Apex, everything, and that is what adhesion is in this game. And then what friction is what friction is what adhesion is in other games. I don't know how to explain that.
That's weird that this is different.
Yeah, it's different terms being used for sure. Like friction is not. Nobody says friction in any game besides this game. But bullet magnetism is everything as well.
I'll accept that.
But yeah, the 100%. What he said is right. So yeah, what's that stickiness you feel when you're dragging it across somebody, that's friction in this game. And adhesion is when you feel the game move your right stick. It's not moving your right stick literally. That'd be crazy. Imagine your joystick starts fucking moving. But it's it's just the game
moves across your
no, it's like you're missing. Yeah, it's when a game takes over the controls and like tracks the target for you, and then bullet magnetism is literally how it sounds.
Sorry, I've not caught up with my chat at all. Sorry. Regan, let me have a look at what you're saying, dude. I'm sorry. I'll be honest, I can't multitask. You've probably seen from my gameplay and speech. I've not read my chat for like an hour and a half. I'm sorry. Let me just see what this is. Mention my thing on how health regen should work. What is that? 1 pellet damage stopping health regen needs to go. Hitting half chunks or more should be the only thing that slows or stops regen. So basically, he's saying you shouldn't be able to do minimal damage to stop someone begin their regen. I'm not talking about wall bouncing, just regular regen. What do you think? I think that's
Okay.
I think that's kind of cheap.
All right, and I do got to add on to that. I don't agree with that, but I know why you think that. You're thinking that because damage mitigation being removed in this game made it feel, you see them 1 pellets and you stop someone from healing. But the truth is, if covers actually worked in this game, if you know what I mean, if covers were a little bit higher, you wouldn't really have that thought process. I would still want people to regen no matter how, not regen no matter how I hit them, in my opinion.
So Regan, sorry, I thought you'd finish answering. So
no, I just see it as that becomes more consistent because let's say you do hit somebody for what, 3 pellets, they don't start regenning, and they're constantly like, how do you add that as like in the game then at that point? Are you basically saying they're still regenning at that time? So like they're still going down to 0, or are you saying they stop and the small pellets is their new damage that they're at? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say, Livo?
I can see both sides.
Like, are they regenning past what you just hit them for, that tiny bit, or what?
I can actually see but you're both saying, like, you're talking about when you're in cover. I don't know if he's talking about in cover or just generally. So I can see what he's saying. I can see what you're saying. I think if you're in cover, you should just be able to regen, to be honest.
Yeah.
Outside of cover?
No, I was saying that
like if you're getting hit, I don't know.
Yeah, I was saying the only reason he even probably like came to this conclusion is because damage mitigation is not a thing, and he's getting hit for 1 pellet while in cover, and he's not regening. You get what I'm saying?
Probably.
That's probably what brought about that conversation for him. Because I feel him at that point.
Why is the shotty the only gun that can chip over cover, but the Lancer and stuff cannot?
Bullet max.
And be honest, you're talking about something I didn't know was the case. I thought everything could. So if that's the case, I don't have an answer to that. Then.
Yeah, not everything can. It's certain guns. It's the projectile size, I believe.
Is it the way it's coming out of the gun? Because obviously, like for example, the snub, you've got one singular shot going in a straight line, whereas the pellet spread of the Nasher sort of.
I think it has. I swear it has to do with the projectile size. Like pellets are way smaller than a snub bullet or a Lancer bullet. But there are certain guns that at the beginning of the game, even when damage mitigation was a thing and you didn't get hit in cover, there were certain guns that were meant for that, like the sniper, the long shot. Remember in Gears 3 or Gears 2 especially, you could blind fire around the corner and if somebody shot at you, you wouldn't get hit. You know what I mean? But if you had a long shot and you're aiming at their head and they're blind firing around the corner, you can headshot them. You know what I'm saying? That's when damage mitigation was a thing. Because it's basically like if you're barely showing outside of a cover, but you have to actually be on the cover, not just standing there, like actually be taking cover, you would not take damage from anything if you're barely in there. But this game, they took it off, which is honestly a step in the right direction because I do feel like if you see somebody, you should be able to hit them 100%. But it's simply because the game's maps were not designed with that in play. It wasn't designed with that in play, so it being removed randomly made a lot of covers just feel fake, like they don't work. That's the best way I could put it.
I can see that. I can see that. I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest. Does it come down to it being third person and camera manipulation? Do you think? Because the fact you can sort of get your shot from an angle that you can't necessarily. Or shouldn't necessarily be seeing. I
mean, it could come from that too, like it being like a right-handed game and stuff. It could, that definitely it can come from that as well. Because there are certain times that you can hit somebody because you're on the right side, but if you're on the left hand, hell no, you are shooting the inside of the cover. You know what I mean?
But so, I don't want to talk too much though, because that's a mechanic I don't know much about. So I'm not going to just go and talk nonsense. But
I'm actually glad you said that though. That made me think. And y'all, I may or not be cooking. I may not be cooking, but we've had games where we had lefty swapping, right? What if there was an actual way where we could switch to left-handed game, like gameplay? You know what I mean? Like you can play left-handed. Like how can I describe this,
You'd
bro?
be surprised how many people have said that. Me personally, I don't care if it's there, but I probably wouldn't ever do it.
Bro,
but
use
I
that
don't see
shit,
an
bro.
issue with it being there.
Bro,
The only
what?
The only downside I see is, you know how I hate people standing with like their gun sticking out on a wall? That would mean they could do it everywhere. That's the only part of it I wouldn't like. But in terms of a mechanic, I don't really have a problem with it.
I think that'd be so dope, bro. That'd make walking wide like so different. You know, you walk wide, take somebody's wide angle, bro. You switch to the left hand, it's fire.
I mean, I don't see why you shouldn't, because you can still do it. Or even like on older games, you can still do it on everything but Gears 1. But you had to set yourself up to do it. We'd have to go onto a cover and pull yourself away to be looking left. But if it's an actual mechanic, like if you can still do it already, then it's not really a problem. I don't see any harm in doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. That's what I mean. Change weapon hand without being covered. But I'm actually glad you mentioned that. You said you don't have to take movement out for a big population. Fort was the biggest game in the world prior to zero build, and building is way harder than movement. But okay, I will rebuttal. You know, I do agree with you. I'm all for high skill ceilings. I'm all for it, fam. But the truth is, at the beginning of Fort, right, nobody is good. It's a fresh game. You know what I mean? Nobody even knew building. When people actually started getting super cracked at building snubs, that player base took a hit. But it's hard to say why for it, because they got so many different custom games. And when they brought back zero build, that brought a huge ass amount of people back. That brought me back. That brought an insane number of people back, bro. You can't really look past that, because the game actually did start declining in population a little bit. But then we gotta go even further, bro. How else was Fort the biggest game? Bro, that game is built for all ages. You know what I mean? Gears is a mature game. That alone, that's one wall that we got to cross. I would like, and people not gonna agree with me because this is literally a base of Gears of War. If Gears of War could somehow get a teen rating, right? Even though that means taking out gore, strong language, you know, we probably would have a way bigger player base, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? No, I already know. Because what I'm saying is taking away real core elements of what Gears of War is. If Gears of War had a teen rating, it would be a bigger game. And I stand on that. I stand on it, bro.
You're not wrong, but I'd also say, being realistic,
it's not gonna happen.
No, not even that. Like, I remember even when I was a kid, I was playing things like True Crime. It's like I was only got 9, so people are gonna play it regardless. Like let's face it, people are gonna play what they want to play.
No, you're right. You're right, bro. You're right, but I can't. When I was young, I can't go to the store and go get that shit, bro. And on top of it, I was sneaking to play this damn game. I was sneaking to play Gears 1, bro. When Gears 1 dropped, I was like 6. I could only play this game at my cousin's house. I swear to God.
You make me feel old. Do you realize that? Thanks a lot for that.
Yes, bro. It's not even I was 6. I just turned 6. Matter of fact, bro. Gears 1 dropped, man. Like, I didn't play Gears of War until what? Gears 2. But the first time I ever saw it, it was at my brother's friend's house. He was chainsawing, like, what was it? The sirens that were coming out the little, the sires, yeah, sires coming out the little, like the little, I don't know, what are those glass things they're in? Like they were in like some little, I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. But yes, but he was chainsawing sires. I was like, nah, this game looks crazy. And that got me into the game. And I'll go like many people, a lot of people get, you know, they saw the chainsaw being used, they brought you in. But yes. God, this game needs movement. I don't care what anybody says. This game needs fluid movement. At this point in time, it needs ways to. It needs to follow the fucking law of shooters. That's the biggest problem in this game. At me, follow the fucking law of shooters, bro. This is the only game that doesn't follow the law of shooters, bro. You play any other shooter, like I'm being dead ass. Almost every other shooter, bro. If you move, you become more inaccurate. Why in this game am I not more inaccurate? Because I'm moving crazy. That doesn't make sense to me. And that is also another reason why people are trying to punch so many different other topics. Because if we saw simple balancing things like that, we probably wouldn't even be having these conversations, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like about people not liking movement and stuff like that. But I
feel like
that could just be me.
I feel like less people would have a problem with movements if it was harder to do, so less people could do it.
That too, definitely, absolutely. Hit the nail on the head.
You got to look at it from, like, even though I don't have that opinion, you've got to look at it from the opinion of someone who doesn't agree with me. And let's say that person genuinely doesn't like bouncing. They don't enjoy it when someone's bouncing at them. If we were to massively reduce the amount of people bouncing by making it way harder to do, then the people, as I said before, who are bouncing, they deserve to be doing it because they put the practice and time in to be able to do it. But most people won't be doing that. So the person who doesn't like bouncing isn't going to be against it as many bouncers, so they'd be having fun as well.
I agree with that. And Snubs, you're right with that, bro. But I just feel like we got to figure what's the way to keep them playing, though, man. He said the high population at the start of E-Day are literally going to be playing against each other. They're not going to run to the top 1% or 0.01. I'm going to say top 1%. Count players every game or every day. They're not going to get Kermit shotted. And you're right. You are right. But Snubs, let's be real. 10 times more people are Kermit shotting in this game, or just, you know, are able to do some just wild movement like that because of how easy it is.
So I want to present something to you because I've said this idea a few times, but to be fair, I, again, quite frankly, don't have your reach. So see what you think, your viewers think. Whilst as an experienced player, you or I or most of us listening wouldn't ever even need to do this, but for the sake of new players or lower skilled players who go into matches and they see people wall bouncing doing things who genuinely think that wall bouncing is cheating, how about have the game teach them, you know, this is what to expect, this is how to do it. Now,
you know what's funny?
5, it's got the... Yeah.
I was about to say that too. I'm so glad you're mentioning this, because I never understood why they never pushed that in any of their tutorials. Why they never really tell you how to cancel a slide or anything like that if you don't want to commit. And I feel like the biggest difference in that is because since this game is the game that is extremely, it has a lot of gravity towards its campaign, right? And playing the campaign is not a damn thing close to playing multiplayer, bro.
Not at all.
Not even close.
But my idea was the boot camp that they've got, yes, it'll teach the extreme basics, but that boot camp, it'll pretty much get you through a casual campaign run. That's it. But I think that if you were to expand that boot camp, you could do so much more because it's a good basis, I think. It was just massively underutilized. I think you could have the basics, which is what they've got, and then you could have like an advanced, then expert, where it teaches you more intricate things that you might expect to see in PvP. For example, wall bouncing or the different types of shots you can do. And they've already got it built into the game now with that little blue hologram that you can see going around. Why not have it so you can see the button inputs, you can see how it should look, and it'll only let you progress once you've pretty much copied what the expectation is. For example, let's say chaining 3 bounces together, something kind of basic to us, but something that someone starting out would have to practice. Or, for example, an outwards reaction shot saying, right, you don't have to do this, but if you see it happening in the game, this is kind of how it's done. If you want to do it, this is how you do it. So rather than making the game easy for everybody to do, which is what we've discussed already, have it so it's hard to do, so it massively reduces how many people can do it. But if a new player wants to come into the game, rather than making the game easy for that player, make it so it's still hard, it's still Gears of War, but say, this is how it's done. If you want to put the time in to learn like other people did, here you go, this is how it's done, good luck.
I agree with that.
I like that idea, because
I agree with literally every single part of what you just said. And because you just said that, I'm going to hit up somebody and I'm going to see if that can be added in.
Dude, that's amazing. I think that helps so many people. Like, I wouldn't get a benefit from it, but people definitely would. Because
that's what I'm saying. Level, that's another problem, is because the Gears of War, like the official Gears of War, you know, like Twitter, all that, they allowed the narrative of wall bouncing to look as if it's an exploit instead of looking like it's supposed to be a part of the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's huge. That's actually huge. Because if you look, I had somebody do a rage bait fucking tweet for me. You know what I mean? Like some real rage baiting tweet. And it was meant to get negative responses, just because I actually want to see what makes people not like the game. You know what I mean? Like I did a clip. It was like a clip of me doing some insane fucking hyper bouncing where you can't even tell what's happening on my screen and shit. You get what I'm saying? Which obviously, you know what I mean? It's the point of that. I wanted to see. It's sparking reactions, and the number one thing I saw was wall bouncing is an exploit, and I'm like, damn, that's really what people think of this.
Do you know where that come from? Just curious.
I would first say because of watching Gears 1, but later I think it's just because it's not in any other game. Where does that mindset come from then? What would you say?
So you were right from Gears 1. So as I said before, Gears 1 initially was going to be campaign only. So the idea of multiplayer movement, it was just not a thing. So when people started playing, the idea was that you go to a wall to take cover and shoot, but then players started to wall bounce with the no wall cancel. So you would still stick to a wall, but you quickly move over to somewhere else. That was considered an exploit because that wasn't how the devs visualized the game being played. From there, wall bouncing in general is now seen as an exploit because originally in Gears 1 campaign, they didn't foresee people wall bouncing. That is the only basis for people saying that. But the thing is now, we are like 18, nearly 18 years past the release of Gears 1. People don't understand why they're saying things. They just hear other people saying it and go, oh, well, let's just jump on that bandwagon. Whereas if they actually looked at it and be like, oh, actually, no, it's not an exploit. That's just been expanded upon because it's more fun for the game. I think if people knew what they were saying, we'd be in such a better place, but people don't.
You're right. And that's what I'm saying. The game can capitalize on that because, you know, it's funny. A lot of people love like movement in shooters right now. Like that's a huge thing. When COD took away a lot of, you know, the movement and stuff, bro, and Warzone especially, people are hating it. This game has a very good opportunity or Gears Eat a very, very good opportunity to steal players from multiple different player bases. And if they could perfect this tuning to, you know what I mean, to really actually invite casuals in and teach them, you know what I mean, have tutorials in the game like that, what you said, that's actually great. I think we should have like a firing range in our game too, something like that. That'd be dope.
Yeah, there's something to practice in, so it's not fast-paced like PvP, because you can't do it. Well, obviously you know this, but even if you were to go into Horde in this game, you've got a different tuning, so there's no point trying to practice in that. But you can't realistically practice it in PvP because you're going to be getting blasted at the whole time. But if you can have a training grounds that's running on the exact same tuning as the PvP, there's no reason you can't spend time in there, because think back to Gears 3 when the tunings were the same between Horde and PvP.
I said in Horde.
People would sit in Horde, not sort around, and they'd learn how to move. People spent time learning, and that's why we've got the skill. Maybe not myself, but maybe that's why many people have the skill that they have now, because they have put an unimaginable amount of time into learning it. So that's why people now come to games like this, where we've got the artificial skill gap, which we talked about before, realize that their skill cannot be reaching its potential because of artificial limitations. And to those people, that's frustrating when they know full well they are losing some encounters to people who should not even be as effective as what they should be.
I agree. Another thing, another thing is that we didn't have to talk about yet is I think the game modes in this game need a lot of work. I think they need a lot, like, okay, think about it, right? If you get on Gears for the first time, right, and you came off of any other shooter, what is the first game mode that looks like something you know?
Well, I would say, if I'm being completely honest, it would be Team Deathmatch, because every game seems to have that.
Exactly, right? But this TDM is nothing like any other game's TDM. You know what I mean? Yeah. This game TDM has 2 spawn points.
You run out of lives on this, whereas on other games you go to try and reach the overall score. So you can't really run out of spawns on other games, but you can on this.
Exactly. And I think that needs to change. Team Deathmatch needs to be up to a certain amount of points. It should not be losing lives. It should just be gaining points. And there should be multiple different spawn points. You should not just only have one spawn point.
I agree with that, yeah.
Even, that's what I'm saying, like, with that conversation we had with the Lancer, yes, we probably would still be having it, but it probably would have took longer time for you to realize how oppressive the Lancer really is if you could spawn from multiple different locations based on where your opponents are. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Exactly. That alone can get rid of the camp fest that you're feeling.
But I understand this isn't a respawn mode, and I do understand people like respawn modes. This is kind of just me. What do you think about Gridiron as a game mode?
You know, sorry, I like Gridiron. I think it's actually like a cool idea, but I think it's a little too complex. I think the closest we can get to something like Gridiron is if we had a game mode that's like similar to Uplink. You know what Uplink is? Think of it.
A COD game mode.
Yeah, it used to be a COD game mode, right? But
So
think of it
I haven't
as
played much COD in a long time.
it's the same thing as Gridiron, like pretty much, right? It's like to me it's the same thing as Gridiron. I think it's actually the exact same thing as Gridiron, but it's just respawn. It's not a single life. Am I right, stream? So think of it as you have multiple spawns, right? And your objective is you want to take in this game, I would like to get Gears of War a little bit, but you trying to grab a locust head and throw it into the other team's objective, like throw it to the other team's end zone. But the thing is, if you die, the round's not over, or it's not over for you. That will make it way more probably fun to play with, fun to play. I think we need to get more and more away from like multiple single life game modes. I feel like that's a problem in this game. We have Gridiron, we have what, Execution. What else we have? You said that's CTF? Nah, but it's not. It is Capture the Flag, but I think the game modes need to be a little bit more like Gearsified though, bro. Bro, Capture the Flag wasn't even really a popping game mode in COD, bro. Let's be real. Let's be real, Stubbs, bro. How many people really play, like, you load up a pub, right? And you want to go play Capture the fucking Flag, bro. You don't, bro. That's not a thing. In COD, that's a dead game mode. I swear it is, bro. I swear that's an actual dead game mode. Am I tripping? People do not play that shit for real. We should not be copying dead game modes from other games. If anything, we should be figuring out how to have a game mode that's like Infection. That's just super. It's just super fun and inviting. That you get on that shit just to have a fun time and remember some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we can get something like some of those super just fun game modes that they don't have anything to do with being a competitive game mode, we might be cooking, bro. The CCF only works in Halo? Yes, bro. Nobody cares about that, bro. All these
the thing I like.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the thing I liked about Gridiron most was, I know like this is going completely opposite to what I know people like. This is just my preference, but I kind of like non-respawn modes. I do like Execution, but I understand that it was very easy to camp Execution. So in fact, I'm pretty sure Execution 2.0 does this, doesn't it? Like,
yeah,
it's so for longer.
That's actually, yeah, that's good.
Like, I agree. Like, I think that's amazing. I think what we need is something like, for the sake of having a non-respawn mode at least, I think we need to have what that is combined with
objective.
That kind of is the objective, but I think it should be something to fight over, like when you get there, rather than just stand in a hill. Because that's kind of just who was stood close.
Oh, I know what you mean. I thought you meant like a mid-round like objective. Like, you know what I mean? Like some type of attack and defense type of game mode.
No.
Well, I was about to go into a tangent saying that wouldn't work.
No, I wasn't going to say that. This topic's just brought up like something else I was going to talk about. I don't know who you follow on Twitter, but there was a conversation on Twitter the other day which I thought was a really good idea, and I think it would solve. I'm using the word solve from my personal experience here, but I think it would eliminate a lot of the frustrations people have with Lancer spam and people sitting back.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea was every mode to have execution rules. What do you think?
Nah.
You wouldn't want that?
You know, as much as I would. Okay, bro. See, if it was just me I'm speaking for, if I feel like I'm speaking for just me, right?
No, I want to speak for yourself at this point. I want your opinion. Like, speak for yourself.
Okay.
Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I would love that. That sounds fire.
Oh, right.
Cause then, bro, the amount of teamwork that type of like that takes is insane, bro. That takes a lot of teamwork to even win in that, and I love that. I'm all for for a competitive game, but I don't know, man.
You don't think it'd work in the long run, but you'd like it.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah,
I would actually love that.
See, that's enough of an answer for me because, like, I agree with you. I don't think it would work in the long run, but I would really prefer that over what we have now. Failing that, the reason I mentioned Grid Iron in the first place was, you know, when you go down, you get the sort of increased health when down but not out.
Yeah.
If we were not to have the execution rules, what do you think about every mode having that increased Grid Iron health for down but not out instead?
Yeah, I was gonna say, thank you. I'm glad you said that because I was gonna say if you didn't. I like the like that's the same thing control too. You have way more health on the ground, you know, unless you're like.
I didn't know it was the same in control.
Yeah. It's not like TDM is like the only game mode that you get shot 3 bullets on the ground and you're fucking floating. Yeah, you get smoked very fast. Yeah, I'm actually all for every game mode having that except for free for all. I don't think free for all should have it, but
I know you say you don't care about the score, but sorry for my consistent crap scores. I'm not paying attention.
You're good. To go even further, free for all. I feel like free for all needs to be changed as well. I don't like that free for all is shotgun only to start. I think that you should have some type of crossing weapon, whether it be a lancer, whether it be a fucking snub, maybe a snub, but I think you should have something else than just a shotgun.
I agree with that. Here's an idea that I pitched to a developer like pre-Gears 4. He said he liked the idea, but nothing come of it. What do you think? You might like this idea, being a competitive player as well. Obviously, not everyone in rank is going to end up like, in esports land final. But like many people do want to play to win. But the idea of playing ranked, a lot of the time, you're not going to be with a full team. You're going to have like a random person.
I know where you're going with this.
I don't think you do. So let's see what you think about this one. Have you played Destiny 2?
No.
In Destiny 2, it has a clan feature where you literally invite people who you want to be in your team, and you'll work together to like achieve points and like get awards and stuff like that.
You're cooking. You know what else had that? Black Ops 2 League Play.
Did it?
Yes, bro. You can create a team.
That's interesting. I didn't know about that one. But what I was going for is, rather than just working towards like a, if I'm honest, a pointless rank, like bronze and gold and masters, like no one really cares. If you were to have like, because a lot of things people say like they want from Gears 3, the war journal, they want the stat trackers and stuff like that. Now think about how GB used to work, where you'd have your sort of your standing, you
have a solo lane, standing, you have like a team standing.
Yeah. Now imagine if you could create your own in-game thing, because the thing is, Xbox already has something like that, but no one ever uses it.
Oh, the groups.
The Xbox clubs. Now imagine you could like make your own team, and then if you were playing with your team, then you would be going against other teams. For example, let's say there was 3 of you on, you get into essentially a public 3v3 scrim. Then the stats of that actually track towards your team standing in that. I think that'd be a good little thing for people who want to go into ranked and play to win, to also play against other people who want to play to win. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea. And I also think you can even go a step further, and I would love there to be like a solo queue or a solo duo queue and a team queue.
For 1v1s and that.
No. For you to not end up playing against fucking 4 stacks when you're solo.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like you just find a lobby where the max people are queued in is a duo.
I think that'd be good, but I think that's again going back to what you said before. Like on paper sounds amazing, but I think when you start doing so many things to impact matchmaking,
player based.
You just ask if unfortunately, for as much as we want these things, like if it was Call of Duty that you had all these like bazillions of players, it'd work. But for a game like Gears, at launch time, yes, it might. But not in a horrible way, but it is going to start to lose players because not everyone's going to want to stick around because, as we talked about, it is a niche game, and people are always going to move on to the next game. Like if they're playing through Game Pass, I do it myself. Like if I see a new game on Game Pass, I'll be like, okay, cool, let's play it. Play for 2 weeks. Then what else is there? And people will be like with Gears, like sure it might pop off at the start, but not everyone, not even close to everyone, I don't think, will stay, which is unfortunate. But if we sort of make the game modes and the matchmaking thinking they will stay, we're going to be very disappointed.
I agree. But I would say the fix for that is to have less game modes.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that might help us. I think there should be probably what 2 ranked game modes, like literally just 2. How many ranked game modes do we have right now? Isn't it like 5 or 6? We have ranked TDM.
I mean, if we're being technical, there's no ranked.
No, you're right. It's not even ranked anymore.
I think it's 6. You've got TDM.
6, yeah, it's 6.
Control. It's free for all. It's free for all ranked mode.
Yeah.
And you got 2v2s. I don't know, man. Like it's been so Guardian. There's one more. What am I thinking of?
They don't
know, but yeah, I think it's 6.
They don't need that, bro. I think free for all.
I'm gonna say something now where I'm speaking for people who not even myself. I know that streamers really like Guardian. So as much as I don't play it, I think if you were to remove that, yeah, the reason for it, and I've asked why, because I don't like it, but the whole point of having this conversation is trying to keep people happy, and like, if I could speak to something I know other people want, then I'll explain it. The reason streamers like Guardian, or some streamers like Guardian, is because it's way less intense and it means that they can spend more time looking at their chat. And I can kind of understand that because like, I'm playing with you now, yeah, granted I'm talking as well, so I'm distracted, but I've very much neglected my chat. And like, as a streamer, like if you've got loads of viewers, you're ignoring them. Because the games are so fast paced, whereas on Guardian you can sort of just stop, have a look at chat and carry on.
Yeah.
Now whether that's the factor you should include, I'm not the one to decide that, but I think it's definitely I know it's definitely something that people would speak about if it was taken away.
But maybe have it, but it's not have it as a ranked mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see that.
At that point, I feel like if you're not that skill level, no offense, you're not skill level to be able to like you know effectively play, talk, you know what I mean, and be entertaining, whatever. Just don't play ranked. It's just like how you know how you play pubs and what?
I'm like a 714. Can't play or talk.
I'm sorry, bro. But I'm just saying, like, you know,
I know what you mean.
It's also different. Like maybe that person can definitely play ranked if he's playing with a group at the same time while he's streaming, because he doesn't need to pay as much attention. But if you're solo queuing, absolutely, I believe like yeah, let's play your Guardian, bro. You know, relax. But I don't know. I think that's I think you know you cooking. I just don't think it should be ranked then. I feel like ranked should only have what 2, maybe 3 modes: a single life mode, a respawn mode, and then free for all. That's it. I feel like and to even make it even more, I feel like ranked should only be the game modes that the pros are playing on to compete.
I'm gonna say something now. You might like the sound of it, you might think it's ridiculous. Instead of free for all, what about 1v1 GB rule style, where it's like your Nasher, Lancer, stuff like that. So it's not just Nashers, like you are actually playing using your loadout, and you can pick up power weapons and stuff like that. And you've got to think about where you're going on the map to get that power weapon, exactly like it would be in an old traditional GB 1v1.
Well, hold on. So is it actually like a 1v1 game mode? Or are you saying?
Yeah. So think back to Gears 3 GB.
Right.
There was a 1v1 execute, like it'd be Execution or King of the Hill.
Okay.
But King of the Hill was a little bit funky in my opinion. Oh my god, he's battering me. King of the Hill was a little bit funky in my opinion, 1v1, but it worked. But it's mostly Execution. So let's say it was, for the sake of not being really short matches, let's say it was first to 5. I know 4 would be a bit more traditional, but 5. If you were to be spawning, literally as we're spawning in this with your Lancer, your Nasher, your Snub, your Smoke, there's the regular power weapons on the map to be played for as you normally would have. And then you're literally 1v1ing for the win. Like, even if you were to sit there and get an angle, sweat your snub, you're playing to win that. You want a proper 1v1 solo experience. Do you think that'd be better than free-for-all? Because you're actually trying to win for a reason rather than just running around just aimlessly into everybody.
I mean, yeah, it could be better than free-for-all. But I just don't like the idea. I feel like at that point, bro, to be real, I don't think that should be in a game. I just think we need another platform like GB back, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we need another tournament type of platform at that point. But I don't think that should be something that's in the game, though. You know?
That's fair.
But that definitely should be.
I think that is.
That should be an experience that should be had. You know? Yeah, yeah. It's an experience that definitely should be had, but it shouldn't be because it's like, you know, it's in the game.
Because I remember back in the day, like, obviously it's not so much 1v1, but 3v3, 4v4. Like, think back to Gears 3 days on the Xbox 360. You'd sign in and your messages, you'd have like 20 3v3 scrim invite. Like, you don't get that anymore. No one even really knows what's going on with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that would be cool. Like, it's not going to appeal to everyone, though. That's just a me thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're getting towards the competitive side at that point.
See, that's the thing. Like, I understand I'm a casual player, but the thing is, it's like I have played competitive, like not to your degree. I've played competitive. I really enjoy competitive. I've been in a montage team. Yeah, I've been in montage teams. I've been in that community for years. I've also been involved in a. I'm not gonna like drop any names, but I've been involved in a social media group for like 8-9 years, which like 20,000 people in it. Been talking to loads of those to see their perspectives. I play public now myself, but just because that I don't play competitive the same way you do, I have played it and I do like it. And I think I've got like I think I've got experience with a few different parts of the community, which is why I have such varied opinions.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel that. It's just like. I'm glad you do have that because, you know, you're able to see my side a little bit better.
Oh, I do.
But yeah, there definitely should be, the way I see it, right? We should be able to have a casual experience. We should have a ranked experience. And then there should be something that's in between the ranked and like real competitive experience that kind of fills that gap. But we're missing it now because we don't have GB anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that used to be the entry barrier into getting into, like, you know, the official setting, getting into that's what paved the way for me. You know what I mean? I played, bro. I was grinding game battles and stuff back then, grinding underground, and that gave me the skills that I had.
Of your Essence experience, like
exactly. Even then, because I was a montager as well. So yeah, and I'm actually glad you brought that up because remember you said, I think you said something. I read your notes. You said something about how like montagers want power-ups to spawn faster.
Yeah. And so like, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, I feel like we've got to understand that we are a community. Within that community, you've got subsections of that community. So you've got your casual and you've got your competitive, just for the sake of keeping that simple. Mm-hmm. Then within the competitive, you've got you guys with the esports. Then you've got people who don't want to go esports, but they play competitive, like scrims and elos and stuff like that. But then if you look at the casual side of it, you've got your literal casual players who, if we're honest, don't really know what they're doing. And you've got your average public players. Then you've got your skilled public players. Then you've got your skilled public players who do anything to win. And you've got your montage. You've got so many different types of communities.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants different things. So when I said montages, I've spoken to so many. I've been a montager, but I've spoken to so many montagers who say that they want power weapons spawning so much faster. Now, if you were to say, right, you get a power weapon every 30 seconds, a snipe up, they'd love that.
Yeah,
that would be probably the best thing they could possibly have.
But you ask me,
you guys, you'd be like, what the hell are you doing?
You ask me, I will get so angry. Like, you know, I actually hate the fact that certain power weapons are in free for all. Like, I'm so serious. I feel like boom shot should not be there. I feel like some of the secondary weapons should not be there. And I also feel like on top of that, you should have a crossing weapon to start on your loadout. So yeah, I love montagers.
I agree. As much as I complain about lancers, I agree.
Yeah, but Snub said a montage is at the bottom of the list of opinions that matter. And sadly, I don't want to anger anybody. I agree with that. I'm so serious. I'm sorry. I love them. You know what I mean? I came from it, but their opinions are so far. They're neck and neck with the Gears 1 players for me. But I love the Tajers. You feel me? Love them. Staples of the community, bro. But fuck that. 30 seconds, bro.
No, I'm making up a number there.
No. But the truth is, like, I'm not even kidding. They would probably love that shit. They would want that. Yeah, yeah. Like that's the fact of the matter, bro.
I get that, but that was kind of the point I was getting at, though. Is like, as much as we can say this will be amazing, that will be amazing. What we view that as, someone else could say that's horrendous.
Exactly. So, and that's why I'm glad I'm just talking to you. But I would have loved for this to, take the extra 2 steps that were missing and have like an old school casual player and then a fucking old school competitive player, bro. And bro, we would have hit some arguments in this.
Oh yeah, we'd all be banned off Twitch and everything.
Yeah, we'd probably still be talking about wall canceling right now. I'm not even kidding, for a few hours.
But you're right though, because there's no way everyone would agree on it. There's not a chance.
Not a chance.
And the thing is, even if like you and I hadn't just accepted to agree to disagree, we'd still be talking about it, and we're just like 2 people having a chat. And that's a crazy thing, because as I said before, you and I have a very similar vision on what would be the perfect Gears, but we still disagree on things.
Yeah.
So you're never going to get it perfect for everyone. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder what approach they should make then, man, because obviously their approach isn't to split the community up and have 2 different tunings. But I don't know. Is it to have a fluid game? Are they saying they return to the roots by making some clunky shit?
That concerns me.
It concerns me too, bro. I just hope that they just make the game dark and gritty. I'm before that. But hopefully they don't, return gameplay mechanics to its core, to its beginning.
So, I'm gonna be careful what I say, because I'm very good at getting myself into trouble. But I'm just gonna say, like, my opinion's coming up here, so please don't anyone get upset. But I do not think Gears 5 as an overall game was a success. I think it had a good launch, and then I feel like it massively flopped afterwards.
It had the best launch of all time. It didn't have just a good launch. It had an amazing launch. We had Game Pass gurus on here.
But afterwards, all you had was complaints. And if we're looking at the trailer and then looking at the feedback we've had for so many years, we've got to look at what matches. And just for, I'm not talking about like balance, like for a moment, we're literally just looking at, oh my god. We're just literally just looking at the visual design of like what the game is. So people have said they don't like the look of this game. It's too bright. Nothing seems to match the Gears of War roots.
Vibe.
The things they want is for it to be like back to its roots, dark and gritty, and have gore. Mm-hmm. So now we look at the E-Day trailer, and I felt like that was literally the developers saying, "Look, we listened. How much more do you want us to show this off?" Mm-hmm. And like, I think that was a very, very good thing for TC. As much as I knocked them for stuff, that was a fantastic trailer.
That was the
to answer all the criticism they've been receiving for visuals.
Yep.
Because those 3 things, as I say, you've got your dark and gritty, back to the roots, and gore. So it's back to its roots because it's obviously E-Day. It was dark and gritty because it did look dark and bleak. And also the gore, I don't think it was possible for them to go to much more effort to show off the internals of that locust neck.
Yeah, no,
so
yeah.
I'm hopeful that that's what they are doing by going back to its roots. I'm hoping they're not going back to the game because I don't think that would work.
I agree with that. Whew, we gotta wait and see, man. Yo, I really think, I have the feeling that they're gonna show us something at Gamescom, or Gamescom, whatever it's called. I think it's in August. Oh my god.
I think right now, anything they show off for Gears E-Day, if it looks like what people want, I think they're just going to keep getting positive PR. Mm-hmm. And I think, well, obviously that's what any company's going to want. So I think it'd be a missed opportunity if they didn't show anything off, because you have to get people motivated, keep them motivated.
Yeah, remind them what's coming.
Yeah, because if you just, like, let's say they were to release this trailer now, and who knows when the game comes out. Let's speculate late next year. People won't forget about it, but they'll lose the motivation and
the hype.
interest for it. Like, oh, it's like, oh, cool, we found out this ages ago, but it's been ages now. But if you keep seeing a few little teasers here and there, or just drops of information, people are just going to keep their excitement. And now, personally, this is going to sound ridiculous. I've just been sat here for like 3 hours talking to you about it, but I'm genuinely not that interested in Gears in the same way I used to be. And that's not me just trying to be weird about it. It's just I haven't enjoyed the gameplay of Gears for so long. But I think that as a community, we've had a lot of things we haven't particularly enjoyed. So I think that if they do Gears E-Day really well to meet what the community have been asking for, I think that would be beneficial for the community and the developers, because the community will get a game that they want, and the developers will be getting the good publicity that I feel like they've not really had with these newer games. I think it'd be a win-win for everybody if they keep going with that feedback.
Right. That's what we need, man. And we got the hype, we got everything. That's what I'm saying. And I keep saying this over and over. Everything right now, as of right now, is set up for the game to have an insane, just off the trailer, you know what I mean? Like, and what they've shown us. This, I don't think they could have had a better start, bro. I'm so, like, I am so happy we're not getting a Gears 6. I'm so happy, bro. Because I know for a fact, because of how Gears 5 was, Gears 6 is automatically, just because of the name, it's automatically a hit or miss. Automatically.
See, I find it interesting with that because obviously they're gonna eventually.
Yeah.
They've got to, because like the way it's gone, like it'd be very weird to not. But at the same time, from a business standpoint, I'm not like talking to them anymore because it's not right for me to talk to like what they are doing, what they're thinking. But if I imagine myself in that situation, in charge of a business like that, knowing full well the cost of making a game is absolutely insane. Yeah. Like hundreds of millions. It's like just incredible values. If I knew full well that making that game is knowingly making something that a lot of people have already said we don't want, it'd feel like a very strange business move to invest money into doing that. I don't know. If it was me, I couldn't do it. It feels like they've kind of got to, because it feels like if they don't do it at this point, it's kind of accepting I was wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think any company wants to do that. I think they'd release it just for the sake of saying, well, we believed in it, but so we didn't like it, even though it's such a cost. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, it just seems like a strange thing to do.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, like, it's not my place to talk about that. I understand that, but it's just like having a conversation about Gears. You think about things. It's like, I don't know. I couldn't imagine doing that, man. No, only making a product you know people don't want straight away.
All right, man. I thought we covered a lot of bases, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've gone through I've put my list aside and I've covered everything that I think I'm gonna talk about. But like, have you got any questions that like you want to talk about?
Honestly, nah, man. That was a clean 3 hours. I didn't expect it to last this long.
Oh, I did.
Really?
Yeah, like when you start talking about Gears, time just goes, because the thing is, like, for as much as like we're always at each other's throats, we all talk about Gears and like get involved in Gears because we all care about it.
Yep.
So when you start talking about someone who also cares about it, even if you disagree on points, if you can do it civilly, you can still disagree and be like, this is what I think, this is why.
Yeah.
Do you agree or do you not? Like,
you got to be able to move on.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm a little Britain, not just.
Yeah, my experience in Gears debates, they always last minimum 30 minutes. No, actually, maximum 30 minutes. You know why? Huh.
People don't know what they're talking about usually, and then it turns into aggressive.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And then it's like, oh, well, you're blocked. That's all it turns into. That's kind of why, like, I've done a few podcasts, and like I've got friends here. I'm happy to talk to people about Gears, but again, I've lost motivation for it. And I've done podcasts in the past, and I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed talking about it. I enjoyed trying to help and give suggestions, and like I really wanted to better the experience for everybody. Like, I'm just one guy. Like, I know full well I can't single-handedly do that, but I wanted to try and do my bit and see how well we can improve it for everybody. But because I've lost motivation, I've had people asking me, would I do podcasts with them? And I felt really guilty saying no, but I genuinely just didn't have it in me to do it. But when I watched your podcast, your interview with Jim Bob,
kind of motivates you, huh?
It stirred something up in me. I was like, oh my God, I've just got to talk about these points. And I was there thinking, I've promised myself I'm not going to do it again. Don't do it. And that's why I put that tweet out as a bit of a joke saying, Paul, don't do it. And then you comment on it, and I was thinking to myself, I was literally wanting to talk to him about this, but I didn't think he'd ever say yes. So for you to say, let's do it, we should do it, I was like, hang on a minute, that just seems like I have to say yes. Like, why would I not say yes? But the thing is, like, talking to you about it, yeah, obviously you're a pro, and I think most people in the community would enjoy the opportunity to speak to you. But the main reason I wanted to speak to you is because it's nice to talk to someone who understands exactly what they're talking about. Because me as a casual player, I had no real reason to learn the game to the extent I did in terms of mechanics.
Yeah.
My reason for doing that was because I was giving feedback and I wanted to understand what I was talking about to try and help things. That was my only reason. Now I've just got all this knowledge in my head with no use for it. So but quite frankly, that's what it is.
No, I feel that.
Once I got the opportunity to speak to you about it, it's like, that makes sense. Like, that seems like all the effort I've put in over the years to try and reach an audience, to try and be heard, to make a difference. It feels like all that effort is now worked, and like I've spoken to you about it. And even if we just get the smallest change, like that boot camp thing that you said you're going to speak to someone about, even if we can just make that small change into the game,
that's huge, bro.
I feel like I've achieved something because
I was gonna mention that too. Like, I'm gonna see what I can do like in the future to try to get you involved in those talks with like the devs directly, because we've never. I
forewarn you, like, I don't want to get you into any negative standing. I'll forewarn you, and I will say I am for unbanned.
Oh, bro, fuck them dudes. But
right.
Like, what, bro? What, you think I'm not a negative standing with the pros when it comes to?
I'm not talking about the pros. I'm talking about the devs.
Oh no, devs, no, they love me. I love them too.
Okay.
They love me, and but I don't know the devs look to me to relay the casuals' opinions to them, and it's mainly because like my following and stuff like that, and they see what people comment on my videos. But I also know that what people watch me for is a little bit biased because they see me have a lot of movement and stuff. So naturally, the people that are watching me are gonna be, also kind of enjoy that version of the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to get that group of people that have played all versions of the game and that can also speak. You know what I mean? They can really specify what they're talking about, and then that will help in the future. You get what I'm saying? So
I think that's really important because, again, just as the example of it, the aim assist, when people are saying, I hate the aim assist, cool, which bit of it? I don't know, aim assist.
Yeah.
Like, when you can specify it, it's so important.
It is. It's extremely important. And that's what I'm saying. We've had, like, even the pros, bro, I'm not kidding you, a smooth 95% of them do not know what it is that goes wrong. The only thing they were able to really tell that was there was a shot delay. I'm so serious. And because that's just such an obvious change, or maybe like the movement gets slowed down, they can feel it, but they can't tell you what part of it. They just say it's slowed down. They won't tell you that the acceleration is messing them up, or the max fly speed is making it hard for them to time their shot. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. They can't. That
genuinely surprised me. I was expecting every one of you guys to know exactly what was going on with every part of the game. I didn't think that at all.
Yeah. So when I argue with people, I'm really arguing with somebody that does not even know what they're saying. Like, and I'm not kidding. And when you tell somebody they don't know what they're saying, they don't
like that.
Yeah. You know how that gets.
I know how. Right, yeah, I know how that gets.
And 100%. And that's what I'm saying. And it even goes to a point where, like, before I even won an event, I'm telling these players that have been around for a super long time, like, you don't know what you're saying. So it goes to a point of like their ego is hurt. You know what I mean? I've done more than you in this game, this, that, and the other. I've been here longer, and now nothing's productive.
That's irrelevant. Like, when it comes to the point of needing to make a change, it doesn't matter how long you've been there. It's who knows what to talk about and who doesn't.
Of course, absolutely. But it's an ego thing. The people don't want to hear that. It's a huge ego thing, man. So Kenny's articulate. No, Kenny. Okay, hold on, Voodoo. And I love Kenny, by the way. Love Kenny. Kenny's one of the homies, bro. And me and Kenny, we go at it sometimes. Kenny is articulate, but that motherfucker shuts down, bro. Like he is a definition of he will give up. Like he's like yeah, this guy at some point he's like, yeah, this guy's stupid, bro. That's it. There's no more words. He'll just stop, bro. He'll really stop. I think Kenny's probably felt what I felt, but for a longer time, because he was one of the only players before me that could really articulate the game and really tell you, you know what I mean, what needs to be changed. And then somebody could just combat what he's saying with, nah, shotgun not strong enough. Nah, moving not fast enough. Like that doesn't, it's not as productive as it may seem. But yeah, hey, Level, I'm glad we had this conversation. Yeah, you're gonna keep streaming?
I really enjoyed it. To be honest, it's 12:10.
Oh, okay.
I am absolutely horrendous at Gears after my 6-month break, and that was just humiliating. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm not gonna keep streaming. But I really enjoyed the chat, and like for everyone in my chat, I do really apologize for not reading pretty much anything you guys have been saying since we started talking, but I really want to focus on the chat with the Vexes, because that was kind of the whole purpose of us streaming. I will go back and like actually watch the VOD over and see what you guys were saying through it. But I'll be posting this to YouTube as well, so hopefully people can listen back, and who haven't been here who can have listen to our thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, hey, stream. Make sure y'all throw him a follow, throw him a sub, everything. You know what I mean? Show some love. Definitely post this on my channel as well. We edited it up. Because the biggest thing I do for a fact, bro, is 3 hours. So I'm gonna have to, you know, put this thing into different chapters so people could just go to the part of the conversation they want to hear.
Meanwhile, I'll be posting the full thing. I'll post the 5-hour one in the past. Like I can't go cut up a 3-hour. That's not me.
Man.
But no, we've definitely covered it, and I'll just say it was great talking to you, man.
Absolutely, bro. And I'm gonna see like at some point if we can get a conversation going with what I will like. But there's the most optimal thing like group we can get to me is me, you, Jim Bob, and then like at least 2 of the older players, or at least one of them. And then we can have a discussion, because I would love to sit here how that goes. Because Jim Bob could help us, like, you know, understand what could be possible, or, you know what I mean, if it's too much. Because there's certain points that we could literally be asking for too much. You know, that's a very, very possible thing.
Yeah.
And you know, when you fix something, you break something else. You know, so
well,
it helps.
We'll talk about that at some point, because obviously my work, it's kind of hard to plan stuff around that. But if it's possible and I'm available, I'll definitely do it, because it does sound like it could be productive for the community. And like, as I say, I had given up, quite frankly. It wasn't a case of I was about to, I had given up. But after knowing I put so much effort in the past, and now, quite frankly, you listening to me like this, it feels like an opportunity to actually finish off what I started, in the sense of trying to help. Now, even if my opinions I disagree with in the long term, fine. But I'm just happy to have the opportunity to try.
No, absolutely. I mean, bro, some of your opinions gonna be agree with or disagree with, but you had some times where you were absolutely cooking, bro. That like it's some shit that I can't. It's not even like a one. It's like we actually need this to be added in. I never thought of it. Like the training grounds thing, I just took it as I need to make videos. You know what I mean? That was my version of the training grounds thing. I'm gonna teach people myself. But the truth is, the game literally needs to push it. The game needs to push that narrative. The game needs to tell people, ways to get better. Because that's true. That's super true, bro. Super true. Because we need all these perspectives, man. We need these, man. This is, I'm telling you, it's bigger than us. We want the game to actually live and to really have a fighting chance at making it out of being niche. Yes, we literally need to come together. It's the only way. Sorry, man. I'm gonna leave you on that note. I appreciate you.
I just want to say thank you for listening to me and having a chat. I enjoyed that.
Absolutely, bro. It was a great conversation.
Cool.
I think the stream agrees.
Care, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace, fam.
Good night, everyone.
All right, stream. What y'all think? Was that productive? Was that a productive 3 hours? Who was in here for a long time? I feel like that was very productive. I feel like we needed that. I would love to watch that. I've been making retrospectives about the Gears games. Love that YouTube recorded recommended Gears Pro to listen, talk about the games. Yeah, he said legit for sure, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, Cookie, I saw you say you would be included too. Cookie, I'm telling you, you saying that just gave me a perspective, because I also would love to have at least one MK player in there, because that matters, bro. I'm not even kidding. That matters. Like, every perspective we can get can be productive if you know what you're talking about. I'm gonna be real. I have nothing at all to say about the MK perspective. I'm not good on MK. Like, not at all. You know what I mean? Like, that is not for me. So yeah, that could help. Like, maybe you know a way to counter scroll wheeling or something. I don't know. He said get Toby in there. Okay. See, and I saw you guys say Fatal, and I love Joe Strikes, man. But I'm gonna be real, y'all. My man Fatal, he can't articulate some of the things of the game to the degree that I would like him to at times. Like, it kind of sometimes, you know, he starts and no disrespect to him. He's a very, very intelligent guy. But sometimes it kind of starts and stops in a very general topic. Like, it's just, you know, it could be as simple as center screen. It could be as simple as, you know, I would love to get into the details. I like to get into like the true details and to why these mechanics works, like the foundation of these mechanics. Because I feel like that's the core of it. That's what matters the most. All right, y'all. So let's get some ranking. Let's get some real ranking going now. You know what I mean? Let me get out of TDMs, bruh. I'm gonna change the stream title. I'm gonna change to ranked. Top Fatal is very headstrong. I'm dead. Good talk, well spoken, and easily understood. Great points with supporting statements, even the ones I didn't agree with. Yeah, absolutely, bro. You gotta hear them out, man. Absolutely. And you know, as expected, when talking to anybody about the game, bro, we've had what? Fucking multiple hella Gears of Wars, bro. We're not gonna agree on everything, and we have different backgrounds to what we enjoy of the game. Man, can't wait to listen through some more of these talks. There are other vid talks on your channel. Yo, Cold Snake, bro, this is something new to me too. So I do not have many at all. The only one that I have is the recent one that I did with Bob, and he used to be TC Dev. But let me put that in the description. Make sure I put that. I was supposed to update the description, by the way. I just say something about him being a dev a while back. All right. Very articulate. Okay, for sure. I appreciate you, Voodoo. You said you could have just came in and paired at people. Nah. Trust the takes I be seeing on like Livo tweet. I can tell he knows what he's talking about, because there's certain things that he would just tweet out, and I'm like, huh, that's not just a general I don't like this game or I don't like this part of the game. He's given solutions. He's given, like, you know, very, very direct changes. I like when people are able to go into the actual number values of the game and express, you know, why they can be changed to get a different outcome. That's great. That's very productive. I'm telling you, bro, I just need to be a game dev at this fucking point, bro. I'll fix all this shit. I'll have us playing, you know what I mean? We'll be on Titanfall. I'll revive Titanfall, bro. I have us running on walls. Let me stop, bro. I'll get kicked out of the studio so fast. All right. My bad stream. I was muted. Let's get it. See in the chat, man. Y'all make sure y'all throw him some follows. You're gonna definitely be around more in these Gears discussions. We need that, man. We need that. Y'all got any mods in the chat? Yo, Cookie, where you at, Cookie? You here, fam? Okay, trigger stop. Cookie, change the title to like grinding, or put like almost at 1K subs or something in the chat. I don't know, bro. Let's change it because we passed the balancing discussion. But keep the commands. Oh my god, that was a... Oh, go down, buddy. No, I haven't tried to get good at MK on this game at all. The only thing that I know that's super easy is hitting the shot, but movement wise, I ain't got the movements. Maybe I have a little movement. I play scroll wheel, but I can hit a shot, easily hit a shot. This is the most point and shoot game ever, bro. Oh, what? Speaking of point and shoot, bro, did I not just go crazy just now? The targets aimed at this game are so much bigger than the targets at actual MK games. Not literally, bro. Literally. Like, heads are way too big. Movement is too slow. MK equals OP.
Fuck you.
I have to make you an editor? Oh, really? What is that? How do you do that? Is that some new thing? I swear, I thought all mods were able to, like, do that. Okay. Okay. See, I low-key deserve to get chunked for that easy miss. I'm disgusted. Nah, that DB is getting it bad. No. God damn it. Where, motherfucker? Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not shooting like this. MK is OP one scrap, bro. Yo, Toby, let's not act like the targets in the game are not too big, bro, for MK. And you have a shotgun. Let's also not act like shotguns are not the best thing for MK. We go to any game, bro. MK players, bro, shotguns are easiest. Oh my god. Oh, I'm dead. Aim assist? What aim assist? You talking about my zero adhesion, zero friction gameplay? I don't appreciate your tone, sir. So you telling me, brother, what aim assist? Okay. You talk about my little bullet mag system I have, like the tiny little bullet mag. Okay, I knew I was there right there. I'm sick. Yeah, see, yeah, a little bit of pellet rounding, a little bit of pellet rounding. But I promise you, I'm the same player without. I promise you. But you guys is insane sensitivities, man. I gotta stop. Yo, Snubs, let me tell you this, bro. Like an actual nasty M&K player, bro. Like, I mean, like a nasty M&K player will run this game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So one of them that's like truly mechanically skilled, bro. They'll run this shit, bro. I'm scared, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If I take one of the Apex M&K players, or one of the, like, really mechanically talented ones, it's GG's, bro. I have a field day. A field day. Nah, I respect it. Toby defending his life, bro. He defending it, bro. Toby, but have you hit Immortal? Have you hit Predator? You know, in Apex. You know what I mean? Like, where? Like, nah. Don't mention who you played with. I want to know about Toby Campbell in the field. I want to hear about Toby. Real talk though, actually is why A1s use walls. Now, where'd that come from, bro? You think he walling, bro? I don't think he walling. It's nuts. Nuts. I don't like M&K players, Toby. That's all it is. I don't like M&K players in Gears. That's what it is, to be honest, bro. Motherfuckers be abusing macros and hitting every shot. Yeah, all right. You think I'm gonna like you? You think I'm gonna like you and you over here macroing me? Like, you think that you're moving so fast that your character is literally morphing, and you think I'm gonna look at you with I'm gonna talk to you in a respectful manner? No, sir. No, never. Now give me some input-based matchmaking, bro. For real. I'll be happy. So, let me put it to you this way. I played a lot of players who wasn't like that on controller, but switched to MAK and somehow became threats at the Gears. Yo, demo, bro. Yo, it's okay to admit it, fam. Bro, Toby, let's not act okay. The only thing that I will really understand for MAK players to actually say is movement is harder. And I think that's because you guys are super used to W keying and everything else. That movement is harder. Because I know you can't W key to do certain things in this game. But if you're hitting every shot, moving don't really matter that much, brother. He defended that shit to the life of it though. I like it. I ain't gonna push I'm not gonna push the narrative no more, man. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna push the narrative anymore, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah, esports don't have MK. Fuck it, bro. But even, bro, I'm telling you, some MK players are just absolutely just amazing, bro. Like Aurora Symphony, for example, Helios. You really think you think those type of shots that he's hitting are natural shots? No, they're not, bro. They're not natural, bro. They're not real, bro. They're not real, bro. Yeah, bro, they can't remove scroll. You know, imagine, no, for real though, Danny, I think the way to remove it, bro, just make that shit where it just can't be binded. But they just find other thing to macro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna start a macro on a controller. Y'all wouldn't even know. I'm gonna switch to alternate. Download what is it? WASD. Link the controller, bro. Throw it on the paddle. I'm gonna start moving crazy. I'm like, what? What? Is that Jim Bobbity? Jim Bob. Jim Bobbity? Jimbo? Being harder matters that much in the actual match. It doesn't, Snubs. Bro. But I was about to say, bro, thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. No, bro, no. And to be real, Toby, if you really want to say this, scroll wheel isn't really a macro. It's just the only thing that can do fucking hyper inputs like that. It's not even actually, scroll wheel actually isn't a macro. It's not. It's a scroll wheel, bro. It's fucking wheel, bro. It's a wheel with a little million. It's a million gears on that bitch. Oh. I just play that shit terrible. Yeah, no, I know. That's saying that shit is legal macroing, bro. I was like, we can't really stop it. So because we can't stop it, I'm gonna sit here and complain. Yo, Tubby, play on controller, bro. Give it up. So I told you, assuming that you play mini games on MK, right? And clearly none of them have aim-assist. Are you really gonna sit here and tell me that Gear's targets are not 10 times bigger than every other game? Every other MK game? I mean, let me know, King. Let me know. Let me know, bro. That's what I'm saying. The scroll not even as big as the issue as hitting every damn shot is, bro. And that's coming from me. And you think I'm missing that much? I'm not. I'm not missing like that. But I die in some insane manners to only MK players. I can instantly, before even, I don't even need to see them turn like an insane speed. I can instantly just be like, yo, this guy's on MK. I could just tell by this, you know, the way he shot me. It's just illegal. Ban them all. Ban them all. Yeah, of course it depends on the game. Bro, Danny, does Cho miss? I don't think Cho misses. The only way Cho dies is if he just doesn't time his shots well. But Cho doesn't miss, bro. You understand that, like when I get a snipe and I'm playing ranked with Cho, I will really give him the snipe. When do y'all ever see me trading a weapon to somebody? Do y'all see me, like, is that a real thing? Like, stream, y'all see me use my snipes, right? And I give him my shit. I say, you know what? I want to win. And you know what I do? I pass it to my MK player. Oh my god, I hate that bug. I'm so tired of dancing in the damn pillars. You don't have to eat a bullshit. Don't that bullshit taste bad. No, Snubs is getting bad shit. No, Snubs, bro. Who hurt you, bro? Snubs, you tired of MK players or what, bro? I'm sick. You guys aren't better than pros because you guys don't have the mindset. That's what's setting you guys apart. It's the mindset. It is not the input. I promise you. You guys literally can easily be better than pros. Like, I'm not even kidding. Because you simply hit more shots. Like, my movement doesn't matter to MK player at times, bro. They're tracking my shit. Something different. What the hell? Why did my shot come out like that? No. I'll take it. I meant to say at range. You know how hard it is to get close to one of you motherfuckers, bro, with your Lancer? That's another thing. Whenever y'all shoot me the Lancer, the first thought is either this guy is cheating or he's on MK. One other. There's no in between. And I have one of the best Lancers in Gears 5. I'm so serious. Like, easily. I have one of the best Lancers, on God. But, like, you know, the bloom just doesn't exist to y'all. It just doesn't. Like, what the fuck is that? I don't think he's MK though, or he might be. What the hell was that? And that's another thing. Sometimes you guys turn so fast. Like, if you do a 180, bro, your character does not like do the 180 on my screen. Like, y'all characters be bending and morphing and shit, bro. Y'all be doing some Ben 10 type stuff. All right. You got it, big dog. Oh, shit. I pushed the overkill. I'm an idiot. Bro, I have Apex friends that after a month of playing Gears, they would give me hell. If they learn like scroll wheeling, because they be scroll wheeling perfectly with tap strafing and shit. They get a little scroll wheeling going, bro. What they God-given accuracy is GG's, bro. It's GG's. Y'all don't know. Y'all haven't seen an actual like amazing MK player really take the time to learn this game. I promise you, they are different breeds. No offense to Toby and the guys. Helios is like pretty casual, bro. Helios is very good too. He's pretty casual, and that's the problem. That's the problem. They play the game for fun. They're not even competitive in MK players. You take a real competitive, this is my life type shit MK player, bro. It's GG's, bro. Oh, okay. I didn't get my kill. I'm disgusted. Absolutely. I mean, of course, yeah. Positioning, smarts, yeah, all that. Of course, that matters, bro. That's come on, bro. That's a given. You give me a fucking Nintendo Switch controller, bro. I'll still play the game smarter than you do. You know what I mean? There's no difference. There's no difference. It's more so if that MK player had top tier mechanics and was a smart player, he's shitting on. He's bro. He's alpha male. Insane Whispers didn't miss. We beat them. Obviously, we beat them, but like they didn't miss. Oh, it's all good though, King. You know? Nah, Toby is passionate. Leave Toby alone, guys. Don't jump him. No jumping. No jumping. Is that 8? Let me see. Liva. I got you real quick. I got you. 2, 4. That is 8, bro. I thought it was 6. No way. There's 8 of these shits, bro. This one gone. This one gone. This one gone. 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 That's all we need. Control, execution, free for all. That's it. You get a single life, you get a respawn, you get a free for all. That's all you need, man. That's the point, Toby. That is the point. Toby, that is the point. Toby just said it. He said it, guys. He said we're mentally better on MK than on controller after a very short period of time. Absolutely. Exactly. That's the point. That is the point. I mean, there's no way. I'm just saying the game is easier for MK. You guys, leave him alone, man. Really couldn't even go dominate COD. Southside. First of all, brother, you expected that man to go over there and dominate COD within the time that he had. Don't expect him like that, man. That's a troll statement right there, fam. He was still actually pretty nice. Nah, bro. Who trolled first? Look at Teddy, bro. I'm loving the passion. They bringing the passion back. Yeah, I love this, bro. Not really the start of the fucking war. I'm sorry, guys. I was trolling, bro. I truly do not mind MK players. I don't mind them as much as y'all think. I'm sorry, guys. I instigated that one.
Capture territory. Hold your ground.
That man just wants an argument, bro. Holy shit. I be forgetting. It's a lot of passion. It's a lot of passion in these parts. Fucking pro players struggling against a bunch of enemy players and barely winning is crazy. It is crazy, bro. What the hell? Damn. Boom shot to the face. Might be one of, you know, one of the easier games. How I get a dub? Where's the second? He must have jumped over the cover into him. These people are all straight from Prime Gilbert for money like 4,000 times. Bro, that's another thing, bro. Mid range, bro. When you straighten up with an MK player, bro, they little. You would think that a joystick is better because we got range, but I say the MK is better simply because when they press fucking A and D, when they go both directions, they're automatically pressing the max possible speed you can go in the strafe. So their strafe like looks different, bro. But when like a joystick, you move over the center mark, meaning that you have to go to a slower pace at some point. So that you cooking when you say that. You cooking right there. He cooking. Oh my god, he's cooking too. I do it, man. No, why did I slide at that, man? I love people that shoot me. So isn't the views? Okay. Is that confirmed? Why is hybrid a thing? That shit's also broken. If you play hybrid, you have 0 honor, bro. You have no honor. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. I got shit on, I guess. Bro, nobody's gonna get MK banned from Raid King. Don't worry about that, bro. That would never happen. And I would never vote for that to happen either. MK players need to be able to play the game. We need all we can have in the player base, my boy. Trust, I know that. I know that, my guy. All right. Skill issue, boy. Skill issue. Skill issue. Skill issue, boy. Skill issue. Oh. The hell? The fuck did he think he was, bro? This motherfucker throw smoke in the ground and keep running. He's in a fucking action movie. That guy is hilarious. I respect the fact that like he's trying to think to that degree though, bro. I gotta get out of here. I gotta thought he was supposed to disappear like a fucking magician. That is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Nah, there's no equal playing field. They had to literally like retune. They had to tune the game differently for both, and that's not gonna happen. It's as simple as MK, not esports. That's all I care about. They can run the ring servers. It's funny how this game uses recoil smoothing too. Would have thought. '82. Toby, my man Toby is passionate. Yo, Toby, I like you, bro. I like you, man. You my friend. You might be good for debates. I might need you one day. What the fuck? Oh. It's like, why is he able to backwards bounce though, bro? Like, why is that an option? You know what I mean? Guy's name is Lavender Duck, bro. He knows how to backwards slide. Is that not crazy? It's accessible ass game. Why can't he do that? All right. Oh yeah, that's a brick. Is there a reason why that shot with the cover is not hidden? Not the rocket. There's also next MK. That'd be good. I would love that to happen, bro. That's a nerf to everything. I just need that to just be a general nerf in people's movement. No, I understand. Yeah, I know. I actually trust me. I definitely understand that. MK being it's harder for movement on that. That's harder for movement, but it's easier to aim for you guys. I would never say that this game had like strong aim assist though. Oh, that's 2. Oh, come here. You got 1 more in you. Whoa. What the fuck? All right, I'm dead. I'm gonna be real though, I ain't gonna lie. Lowest the keys though. I like coming from Apex. Lowest the keys, all right. And some of y'all not gonna agree with me. This actually is one of the more balanced controller MK games. Like it was between both inputs. You go to Halo, you go to COD, controller OP. You go to Apex, controller OP. Not gonna lie. We narrowly beat Apex's pro pickup team in a $500 gridiron tourney. Now, why are you exposing me? What the fuck? Yo, actually, yo, fuck MK. Ban them all. Ban them all. Get them out of here, man. Get them out of here. We don't want them here no more. Ban them all. Nah, Stubbs, you think if they don't control it, they're not getting close type shit. Let no Snubs. Tell him that if he's on the roller, he's not getting 2 rounds. Tell him that the reason he has the fucking tool that's used to type emails is the reason that he's killing me. Tell him. Let him know. Tell him, man. Tell him right now. No, I'm trolling. I'm literally trolling, bro. I'm trolling. Yo, hey, on the bright side, yo, what's up, count, boys? So we at 827, 26. Let's go, 827. I can update it. Let's fucking go. Yo, Toby, bro, you got all this passion, bro, but like, use that prime sub in here, fam. Imagine. That's a lot of, you know what I mean? If you want to be allowed in here, bro, you have to be subbed. That's the limit we at now, man. We here with it, bro. I'm up to here with you right now, man. We never lose a tourney match unless it was a top semi-pro team or pro pickup. Like, yo, why is he, yo, he ain't gonna lie, he's egoing you guys right now, like so hard, bro. He's egoing you guys. You guys don't even know it. Like, y'all really have no idea. Like, press his profile, bro, and look at him smiling, bro, behind the desk. Look at him. He's egoing you guys so hard right now. You don't even know. You can't even feel it, but I can feel it. He's saying that if he really grinded this shit, he said he's #1, bro. That's how I read it. That's how I read it. He thought he would be. He said if he really studied the game, he's #1 because he's only losing the pros, bro. Nobody else is close. Damn. Damn. It's just crazy out here, bro. Hard times, man. Hard times indeed. Yo, low key stream. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna check it out. We got a long day coming. All right, we got a long day coming. I need a mental reset. All right, that conversation has me fucking dying. I'm gonna stream and give me a few hours. I'm gonna throw the stream back on and we're going to stream fucking damn near all night. All right, I love you guys. I'm gonna see y'all later. And peace out, gang. Much love, much love, much love. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I know it's very abrupt. I appreciate you guys. No, it's not night, Livo. It is 8. I'm gonna be right back. I'll be back in a few hours. So it is for you. Yes. Good night to any of you guys across the pond. Good night. Good night. Intense discussion. Yes, Toby. We gotta cut it here. That is a fire emote, by the way. I love that. You with the Nasher on it. I love that. All right. Peace, 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 peace.